Hey folks, what's up? We have a new show format for you tonight for everybody who's watching. So tonight, this has been something that's been going on for about been planning for a few months now. So there will be mistakes.
Because we've been planning for a few months, there'll be mistakes.
There will be mistakes because we've been planning for a few. It's just that there's so much that's completely different. And so I kind of just want to let everybody know what Human Interact Analog is. And so, we do a lot of retro stuff, and a lot of folks think, okay, yeah, retro stuff, that's cool. I want to be able to do something a little more about retro hardware, just because of like the stuff that we deal with. So we deal with retro consoles, why not deal with retro hardware like analog equipment? So I actually went out and bought a couple VHS decks. So we've got ourselves a VHS deck here. This is some Samsung DVD combo thing that is falling apart. So we'll do some science to it. I also went through and I bought a sorted lot of VHS tapes as well. These are all used. They all have stuff on it. So hopefully we don't.
They look kind of homemade. Hopefully there's no porn on there.
Yeah, for one, no porn, and two, hopefully Roots 2 doesn't get us in trouble.
Oh my god.
These things are like late 90s, 2000s AF. Not only that, but you'll notice here that we've got some analog paper here. So if we just kind of scooch on over here, y'all are gonna do some learning tonight. So I can actually go and draw and explain some of this stuff that's happening here, because I think there's a couple of cool things that we could learn tonight. Can you set the time in the VHS? No, because this one does not have a remote control. So, Sophie.
Yes.
Let's get started tonight with Human Interact Analog. So I created a little what do you call it? A TV ident. And so back in the day, in the 90s, when you were flipping through your analog TV stations, you had no idea what channel you were watching. It just was a number. But you didn't know if it was like MTV, VH1, BET, like you didn't know anything. So TVs had what they called idents or identities. And the idea was that they started getting a little crazy in making them like towards the late 80s and early 90s. And this is before we all got like those DVR boxes that could show up the info and be like, okay, here's what channel you're actually watching. So I created an ident for Human Interact Analog. Would y'all like to see it?
Heck yeah. Let's see it.
Here we go. This one's actually got some sound too. So here we go. Let's play this.
Wow. That music though.
Here, I'll just play it again, just because like idents are so cool. I had a lot of fun putting this together. It didn't actually take me months to put that. That wasn't the part that took me a lot. Should have done it in 4:3. It was actually done in 4:3, Chris. But there's something called anamorphic in 4:3 for getting widescreen. And besides, we got to cover up the whole screen. So let's go ahead. Let's do that again. So normally I do like a fake VHS effect when I'm doing these things. And this time I actually just did it very digitally in the computer and spit it out to the tape and then rolled it back in.
Really?
Yeah. Which means that the stuff that I do that's fake analog is actually pretty convincing. So, with all that out of the way, I feel like I have to explain a couple things here first. And I've got, let's go ahead. We've got these permanent markers here. And we've got some paper here. And not only that, but I've got multiple layers of paper here, so we can tear and do some fun stuff here while we're learning some stuff. So who wants to learn about analog stuff?
I do.
All right. There's no pop quiz at the end of this. So just sit
that yellow
back.
Doesn't show up too well, by the way.
Just sit back, relax. I know, we won't use it too much.
Look at the swag on this bit.
Hey, thanks, old school Jay. Am I gonna do grill bruisages? I don't know what those are.
Gotta love it.
Tom Scott did a video where he interviewed people with VHS and did what? Oh my goodness, there was so much there. You'll have to type it in chat. So Thunder, we're gonna learn about analog stuff here. We're in the. If you notice, the channel says science and stuff. So.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead and link that. He says Tom Scott did a video where he interviewed the people that made the VHS filter most people use. He says you can link it on Discord. So yeah, go ahead and link it.
Yeah, well that'll be after school homework. So tonight we've got a couple plans in terms of what we're doing. So
we've got 3 subscribers so far.
So we got Dead God, Menamir, and all them. Yeah, okay, let's get this out of the way. I can actually do this. I still have my old setup here.
All right. Dead God, Menamir. Who else? Who else? Chris. You guys are amazing. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's gonna be stuck in your head all night. But thank you so much for the subscriptions. You keep the channel running. You make me want to do this. I'm gonna get all sentimental. I'm gonna tear up. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
Thanks, folks. All right, so let's get started here. We're gonna learn. Oh my goodness, Emmy just gifted it. Who gifted it?
Nevik just gifted his gifts. Nevik.
Okay, Nevik. We'll do it again. We got to get these out of the way. I'm gonna let y'all on here soon, eventually. Just let me get through here.
Nevik Link, thanks for giving that sub to Emmy. Somehow Emmy never gives any money, but she whips everybody. It's almost like she takes, but she never give. Well, she does give. She gives the whip. That must take a lot of money. I'll let it slide for now.
Thanks, Nevik, and of course Emmy, for being basically like patient zero for all this stuff. You know, I work for free for you subs. I know. All right. So I promise we'll get into some practical stuff, but I do want to explain some stuff on paper here because it actually kind of helps a lot of things. So let's talk about kind of the whole chain, right? The whole chain of going from, picture to, analog signal to playing it back on the tape and then, driving the CRT. And when you understand the entire chain, you'll understand why all of these things are basically built the way that they are. So I kind of want to tear off the sheet here, but I don't want to get rid of Human Interact here, the logo. I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll just move this out here. So this is the part I didn't think about too much, where it's like I'm gonna have to basically take these sheets off. I kind of want to save this logo. It's nice. All right, so that'll work. Fresh blank canvas here. All right, markers. See some color up here. So when you think of an image here, and let's go ahead and we're going to keep everything in black and white because once you start talking about color and analog, it gets really confusing. So let's say that you've got, a picture here on the right, and it's just a dude, and he's kicking a soccer ball. That's my soccer ball. Someone's gonna be like, soccer? Don't you mean football? Whatever. He's kicking a soccer ball. Sorry, picture's not gonna be that great. So you're capturing this on a lens, and it focuses onto a sensor. Typically, what you have is what we call a CMOS sensor. And Sophie might be able to tell us what this stands for in terms of it's like something metal oxide substrate or something.
You got me. I can pull it up.
Yeah, it's something like that. But on that CMOS sensor, there's actually a pattern of pixels for grabbing red, green, and blue channel. Because images are made out of red, green, and blue, right? So
it's complementary metal oxide semiconductor.
There you go. So this is a big sensor here with a bunch of pixels on it. And we're gonna go ahead and just divide it up into a grid here. Just so that we can kind of just say, okay, these are all pixels. Not drawn to scale, obviously. This thing is super tiny when you focus a lens on it. And you'll notice that there's actually a pattern in here for each pixel, right? Because if you're capturing a black and white image, you could just capture every pixel and then output it. But I know we said we weren't going to talk about color, but this is actually kind of important because you have to understand how color kind of gets split up. So on the CMOS sensor, you've got green pixels, you've got red pixels, and you've got blue pixels. And they're typically in a pattern like this. So you might say like, okay, well then what's this next color down here to make this square the way it is? And I realize I need to do this bigger. And so one of the things you'll notice is that there are actually twice as many green pixels as there are red and blue ones. And you can tell me if I'm covering this up while I'm coloring this in.
Nope, you're good.
Yeah, okay, good. I placed the camera good this time. And the reasoning for this is your human perception is actually twice as perceptive to green than as it is to red and blue because they're on the edges of the spectrum. When you think of the color spectrum, and you can look it up, it's basically like, you say ultraviolet, like an infrared. You notice how they're red and blue colors, but you can't see them. They're at the edges of your visual spectrum, and in the middle is green. And so green is actually going to appear brighter than blue and red will in your human vision. So then again, we'll do this again, 2 green pixels, and then a red and a blue, and so on. So this pattern keeps going on forever and ever. CJ, welcome. You're gonna learn yourself some analog stuff here. I know, and as I'm drawing a digital sensor that captures this stuff. This is the most common way to do it. I used to use vacuum tubes. I'm not even going to explain that because it's like kind of voodoo mystery science. So you've got this Bayer pattern here, and you're creating this image here. And really, for you to make an image that's color, CCD actually came out before CMOS. CCDs were before, and they typically didn't have this pattern here. But I want to explain Bayer patterns because it's actually kind of important. So out of here, you'll actually get a green image that's of a certain resolution. And then you will also get a red image. I'm trying to draw this to scale as much as I can. That's of 1/4 of the resolution. And you also get a blue image. That's of the 1/4 of the resolution. Right? So each one of these images essentially get put back together, and that's what creates the picture. And so you'll be like, oh my goodness, the green picture's so big. Well, there's a lot of information there. You see it more. And these images right here, while they're important to the perception of color, they're still each one of these makes this. So we'll just kind of just draw it out there. Boom, blink, blink, blink. Your ability to see red is not as important, or blue. It's important that it's there, but like the resolution is not as there, honestly. And so you would combine these images by scaling them, and then you would get your color picture on the other end. The problem is that these images right here don't actually compress really well. Right? Because you gotta transmit them, or roll them to a tape or medium or something, right? And so, in essence, the CMOS sensor kind of does something for you automatically. It's already compressing information for you. So if you're squeezing down the red and the blue component by half in both dimensions, you're throwing away extra information that you would have normally had to put on there, right? So if you were to store 3 red, green, and blue images that were the same size, you would need a lot of bandwidth. And you can start to see, without compression or any sort of way to like throw away information, this starts to get pretty large pretty quickly. And just imagine that you're doing this 30 times a second. Chris, we're gonna get there. I'm stepping you up there. This is 101 and we're gonna get to 404 pretty soon. So, because you've basically stored all of these images in an already compressed format, and you're shooting them out through some electronics, well, we might as well roll these to tape this way. But there's a problem here. To get the intensity of that image, or to produce a black and white image, in this scenario, you would have to create a 4th image, right? Which is just the black and white, where you sum the colors. Oh wow, like a little spider just fell down off the ceiling. That's cool. I don't know if anybody saw that. But yeah, you would have to store a 4th image, black and white. And so, you know, believe it or not, you can do some simple maths to actually derive the green image from the intensity of this and the component of red and the component of blue. Now, I'm not going to get into the math of this because you can go on Wikipedia and figure this out. But essentially what happens is these 3 images get combined to create this one, your intensity. And then you just take these 2 and then you roll them over the tape. So, when we're thinking about component video, you actually call this the Y component, the PB, and the PR. So the intensity is just the black and white version of it, of the red, green, and blue all combined. So if you know the intensity of all of these images put together, and you've got these 2 images, these red and blue images, you can roll these straight to tape and then convert them back to these full-size red, green, and blue images at the end. Now the resolution of the red and the blue won't be the same, but it won't matter because you don't perceive it that way. So what you'll do is you'll just say, okay, I'm gonna just not even send this. I'm not even gonna pipe it. And basically what I'm describing is component video. In component video, if you're familiar with it, are the 3 RCA jacks, which are red, green, and blue. And a lot of people mistakenly think like, okay, this is like actual red, green, and blue video signals coming out. And
it's hard to see just the marks, by the way.
It's hard to see the what?
You want to film in just the marks. So you want to film in just a little bit more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, so a lot of people think that, oh, it's this red, green, and blue video when you send it across component video cables. That's actually not true. It's not this, it's this, and you're gonna see why. Because bandwidth-wise, this is tough to store on a medium. Considering if you look at how big these images are, essentially, for the size of 2 images, you're able to create red, green, and blue. And when you're storing that on tape, that's actually really important because you're trying to save as much space as possible. How does that translate with poltergeist? I mean, there's from a different dimension and limitations. We will get there. Eventually. So if this is 4 and 4 and 4, what's 4 times 3, Sophie?
4 and 4 is 16. 16 times...
No, 4 times 3.
Oh, 4 times 3 is 12.
Yeah.
But
So,
you wanted 4 cubed.
Yeah. So let's just say that this takes up 12 units of arbitrary space.
Well, you said 4 cubed. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64.
We're not multiplying these images, we're just adding them, right? We're trying to shoot them, we're trying to store them on a medium, right? All right.
Right, 12.
All right, so let's go up here and let's do some quick math here, right? If this is 4, well, we squeeze these in half, so these are 2 and 2. And so what
That's
you'll...
just 8.
Huh? Say that again?
That's just 4 times 2. 4, 2, and 2 is 8.
Yeah, so we're using 8. And if we put 12 over 8 as a compression ratio, using 422, well, we'll talk about it. But if you can see here, if I send video down here, I have to use 12 units of imaginary sending, versus this only takes 8 units. And I can create almost the exact same image when I combine it back. Because I've eliminated the green, I've got the intensity of all 3 of these added together, and I've got the red and the blue. And with some math, I can subtract the red and subtract the blue from this and regenerate the green image on the other end. Do you understand where I'm getting here? Or
Sort of.
Do you need more explanation? Okay, so I've shot these 8 units, across, and stored them on a medium. When I get on the other end, I need to recreate this 12 units, right? I have to re-expose this, all right? So on the other end, I've got the Y component, the red component, and the blue component. I got to create the green. So creating the red and the blue is actually really easy. You just stretch them out. So for the red one, instead of having, a 2 component, you're just doing a stretch to it. And now it's the full size. I should probably draw these a little bigger. Same thing with the blue component. You're just resizing it. You're stretching it out. You're just saying, hey, every other pixel, I don't care, just stretch it out to fill the whole thing. Now you don't have a green component. So how are we gonna make this green component back up? Well, what you do is you take your Y, which is your black and white image, and this component here, and you also know this component here. And so you can actually subtract these from here and create a full-size green image out of it. And the reason why you do that is because look at how much space savings you get from just doing it this way. If you could roll for, let's do the ratio here. So 12 over 8, what's that a ratio of? What to 1? Usually we
2/3.
Yeah, you're using only 2/3 the bandwidth. Is there a reward if you ace the quiz? There's no quiz at the end of this. We're just doing this. So you might be wondering, okay, we've got component video, right? I just described component video, but we can actually go deeper. We could do composite video. We could shove all these down one fucking line, and we can save even more space. We can throw away some stuff though. So the way that component video or composite video works, and this is like some voodoo shit, right? Like, you're just like, well, how the hell do I go from here? Like, this is a pretty good engineering solution, right? Like, you just saved actually a lot of space and created like 95% of the same image. So let's talk about the yellow one, or composite video. And I know people are like, yellow's hard to see, so I will outline it. So composite video is actually what you're probably more familiar with. At least if you plugged up that little yellow thing. It's one wire, and you're like, well, how the fuck do they split this down one wire? You just don't know how things work. Hey, Kit Mode, it's cool. So if you want to get one thing down the wire, well, you have to multiplex the image, right? You could send all 3 of these in simultaneous, right? Like, you could just be like green, red, blue, just like shove all 3 images. But one, that's not really great for saving space, because you're essentially tripling the size down one wire, setting them all three concurrently. But you would also need really thick wires to do that, and your ability to transfer it far wouldn't work really well. So you got to kind of go back to basics and really think a little differently about how to do composite video to create the red, green, and blue. So we know we have this component here. So what if we took this Y component here? And then before we send this out, we do a color burst here. We can frequency modulate actually the red, green, and blue images together. So actually, this is technically incorrect. You wouldn't get Y, but you could actually. Hold on, let me think here. Yeah, the Y image is technically correct for this demonstration. Let's just assume that it's a Y image. It's slightly different, but this will help you wrap your head around it because I kind of taught you this other stuff here. You can actually create a frequency modulated color burst of all three of these images. So when
what does that mean, frequency modulated?
So there's something called a color burst inside this signal. So each line on this, oh God, do I need to explain interlacing?
Sure, go for it.
No, I don't need to. I could explain interlacing, but I'd be like cutting up pieces of paper. Most people kind of understand interlacing. It's like, all right, you got like...
You can do pretty quick, just do the interlacing lines, just do every other line, then the other lines.
Yeah, well, we're assuming everything's progressive here, but I could probably explain the difference between 240p and 480i, and that'll get people to be like, oh, okay, I get it now, because that's actually really relevant to people here. So on the analog signal, I'm not talking about this at like a waveform level, but the waveform would be of each line, right? Because televisions are made up of lines. And when you send a line, you send a pulse down to 0 volts and then up, and then you would wait, and then you would send the actual analog signal for the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Electronics got pretty fast towards the 1960s to pick up on this stuff. And instead what they did is they frequency modulated on each line, and I'll draw this in a color. The red, green, and blue encodings of this line here. And I know it's really tiny here, but this color burst essentially tells the TV, okay, switch to red, switch to green, switch to blue. And how much of the intensity of each one of it as you go across the line. So now when this gets read out, it's kind of like, okay, we know what this image is supposed to look like. It's actually pretty crazy how this works right here, where they were able to shove it down one line. But they were able to basically create a color burst, very, very tiny, right outside the frame. Each line has a color burst before it draws it to the TV. And that's how you're basically able to shove color video down one line. And not only is that color video able to work on, and provide color on color TV sets, but this is also backwards compatible, because this area right here is actually ignored by old black and white televisions. So they just kept shoving things in there as they could modulate frequencies faster, and then that gets decoded and then shot out to create red, green, and blue. But the problem with this method is, look at how much information you are preserving for the color on the screen. And so you'll notice that you have to do some filtering, and then on composite video images, there's something called dot crawl. So when you look at like two colors right next to each other, let's say you've got like a blue area and a red area right here, you would see dots of alternating colors around it where those two corners meet. And it's really tiny, but that's one of the kind of the downsides of doing this method, because you have to filter this stuff, right? Because you played 3 waves on top of each other at the same time. And so you have to use filtering filters inside of the electronics to essentially pull that out. That's like some crazy voodoo shit, but it's basically how if you think about like your cable system, there's one wire coming out, but you get like hundreds of channels. Like, how are they doing that in the analog days? Well, part of it was that it was all being broadcast at the same time, but you used a filter to filter out a certain frequency, and the signal is inside of that. So that's basically frequency modulation in a very poorly explained way. So yeah, let's talk about the difference. Probably now that people are like looking at this and they're like, oh, what's the difference between 240p and 480i? Here, this is my best part that I love about this. I can just do this. All right, this is going to work a lot better the last time I thought I was going to do this. Yes, analog. I can just pull this off and just move it when I don't need it. All right. So, interlace signaling. What is interlacing? All right, well, let's do a little experiment here. Don't you like cutting with scissors, Sophie?
Of course I do. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't like cutting with scissors?
To beat rocks.
So let's draw two images here. Let's draw two images here. What should I draw two images of?
Chipboard.
Chipboard. Something where it would show action. What is chipboard doing? Thanks, Wrestling with Gaming.
He's drinking vodka, obviously. He's drinking a shot of vodka.
He's drinking a shot of vodka. Okay. So, chipboard's brown. So chipboard is drinking this vodka really fast. Like, oh my God, like so fast. All right, what's chipboard look like? Okay. All right, he's got the knife. Oh, it's their song.
Oh, I love this song.
Their song, Sophie. All right, so there's frame one of chipboard. And chipboard's gonna change colors after he drinks the vodka in frame two. And the vodka's in the mouth. All right. This is frame two.
Don't forget his sword or his knife.
No, his knife is in his mouth.
I see.
He's drinking the shot. Come pie. The drum sample is the same one used in the zone. GG. Okay. All right. So anyway, here's interlacing in a nutshell. You've got two images here. And I kept these small on purpose because I wanted to be able to make this easy to cut up without having to spend like 10 years doing this. All right, so you've got two frames of video here. And I'll put them on top of black so you can see them really easily. This is good that I did this. I should be teaching this to like little school kids. And they'll be like, what? So chipboard here in frame one. He's got the drink, and in frame two, he's doing that. He's taking a drink. Hold on a second.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've explained why PBPR. I know, it's good. All right, so we've got two frames of chipboard. This one's purple just because he turned purple in the next frame like that. It's a jump cut. So he's a YouTuber. So in interlacing, you would have to do 60 frames per second. Again, remember, we're trying to save bandwidth. The whole point of video engineering is to like shove high definition video, infinite color, space, and everything down one fucking wire. Because nobody wants to pay for anything. So in interlacing, what you would do is you would chop these up. Literally, like chop these up via scanline. But I'm gonna go ahead and just like kind of chop them up like this into 3 spots. Right, so there's frame 1, 3 scan lines of frame 1, and here's 3 scan lines of frame 2. And literally what you're going to do is you're going to encode both of these together. Frame 1 and frame 2. Just like this. Now there's a couple things that just happened. 1, I doubled the horizontal resolution. But 2, I just saved you a frame by shoving them into one. So instead of having to have 2 frames, now you have 1 frame.
Is that why when you pause it, it looks all seriously like ridiculous?
That's why whenever you pause an interlaced video, this is why you get to see 2 frames. You always see 2 frames. Don't cut chipboard, it's just a knife. So that's interlacing in a nutshell right there. Hopefully that was pretty useful to folks. Now you might be like, hey, interlacing, I've heard of that. You probably might have heard of something called 480i. That's because there are 480 lines that are interlaced. But if you cut this in half, really what this means is each frame only has about 240 scan lines of resolution, each frame. But when you interlace them like that, you get an appearance of a higher resolution because you're seeing them like really close. But you might say to yourself, hey, interlaced video has like this weird effect. I'm seeing like, especially for fast motion, like I'm seeing stuff like move. And also it flickers, right? Because on the CRT, the way you draw this, when you receive this signal here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually draw half of the lines in one pass, in 1/30th of a second.
Mm-hmm.
So what you'll do is you'll take your even lines. So let's go ahead and take our even lines. And we're gonna draw these on our theoretical TV right here. That's our even pass. And then after the next 30th of a second, we will draw these odd lines to the TV in a different position. And because of the persistence of vision, these are like half faded out. So you get to see this image here, and then you get to see this image basically next. And because it's
separated by lines.
But they're separated by lines. And that's why when you watch the interlaced signal, you'll see some like very small movement like this in between each line. Because when you decode the signal, you play half the lines to the TV. And again, this is a gun, right? So the gun turns off. It comes up here. Let's pick another dark color. Let's pick brown for chipboard. It'll draw line 1. The gun will turn off, get to line 2, and then draw line 2. And so forth and so forth. It'll do this pattern until it goes through the entire 480. I know, give me that 5G.
Well, doesn't it draw 2, 4, 6, 8, then 1, 3, 5, 7?
That's right. You've got it, Sophie. So once you get down to your even lines, we will draw our odd lines. Even are in brown. We'll draw our odd lines in blue. Or in purple, right? Purple. We got our purple guy here. We'll do purple.
We got purple.
And then we'll draw them in the odd positions, right? And that's what gives us the full picture on the TV. But maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe you want to get progressive scan and you're okay with a low resolution like 240 lines. So you might be wondering, how do you send progressive scan? The signal only cycles at 30 frames per second. You cannot get over that. The signal cycles at 30 frames per second. You cannot send 60 fields per second. And you might be wondering, well, how does 240p work on like an old game console? So at the very top of the signal, there's actually some lines here that basically tell the CRT what to do when they're driving it directly. So at the very top, outside the screen area, there's actually like either on or off lines. And they happen at the very edges of the signal for horizontal sync. This last line right here basically tells you whether or not to draw the even or the odd lines on the television. Because when you send the signal through, you're not sending like where to draw the line exactly. You're just telling the TV, hey, offset this slightly down. So what if you sent an encoded signal like this, but you didn't include this little carrier right here to tell it to shift the line? Well, you would get 240p. So you would scan the even lines again, you know, all 240 of them on your next frame. And then on the frame afterwards, you would draw the other lines on the other 30th of a second exactly right on top of them. Now this gives the appearance of lower resolution, but this is 240p right here. And this still cycles 60 times a second. But the actual signal is still encoded this way. Signal's still encoded. So that's why, like, when some people are like 240p doesn't exist, at a signal level it doesn't exist. It's still coming across 30 times a second. It's just that you've essentially removed this carrier flag up here outside the signal that tells it to move the gun down. So what it's doing is it's doing what Nintendo's called, they call this double strike mode. And now you know why they call it double strike mode, because you're striking the exact same spot on the CRT twice. And all you're doing is you're removing this little flag up here. And it literally is just like a piece of white that's burned into the signal that tells the gun whether or not to sync or not. It's a sync pulse.
Netflix asking what the carriers do. So
on the top, sync pulses, which is called the VITC signal. It's technically called VITC, V-I-T-S-C. And VITC basically can carry metadata. I'm going to call it metadata because that's the easiest way for new school people to understand it. But new school or metadata could be like closed captioning. It could be information about where to find a secondary audio track. It could be, do you remember some TVs like in that late 90s period, they used to say like it would show the channel number and say VH1. And you're like, well, how did the TV know that?
That metadata is the lines in between the frequencies that show the actual video.
Well, no, the metadata is actually at the top of the signal. You never see it.
I understand that also included space for things like, you know, the channel guides.
It could, yeah. There's a lot of things that people shoved in the VITC. But the only parts that were really necessary at the beginning were at the very corners, because this was your horizontal sync. This told the television where the edges of the signal were going to be. It's like, get ready, here's the edges of the signal. And then the very last pulse basically told you whether or not this was an even or an odd line. That's it. Cool stuff, huh? Now you know something a little more.
You can put all kinds of text and stuff in there too.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things that got shoved in there. Sometimes they could even be copy protection bits. So like, for example, a VCR wouldn't record it because it would be like, hey, this is a copyright flag. We're not even going to get into 640 by 40 versus 720 by whatever. Yeah, so in 240p, you're not overwriting the previous frame. You're striking the same part twice, which is essentially a progressive signal. So at the end of the day, you are getting a progressive scan. You're just only scanning 240 lines. But it has to be encoded in this interlaced format. That's the only way the TV knows how to accept it. Yeah, Macrovision stuff could... Well, Macrovision has some other stuff in there too, but like Macrovision is basically up here, outside the signal. If we capture some of these tapes, we might actually be able to find some of that VITC signaling, and I'll show you what it looks like. So we've got... Let's see, what do we got here? We've got... I'm going to cut out some of these things. We've got composite video. We've got component video. What am I missing here? What have I not explained yet?
The composite, yeah. Chris was asking about S-Video.
Oh, S-Video. Yeah, we should talk about S-Video. So we've got composite video. We got component video. I love this. Like, I could just cut things up and just throw it up on the screen as I need to.
I also want to remind you it's 8:50, so I don't know what you had planned for the whole night.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get through here. So we've got composite video, we got component video, and this is just for you, Chris. We'll explain S-Video. So S-Video is this little DIN in the US, and it's got 5 pins inside of it. And it's got a little block down here. This is bullshit. S-Video is bullshit because it's 2 pins. You have your Y signal, which is your luminance. And instead of doing this carrier wave bullshit to like modulate it along with the signal, you're essentially sending the chrominance in a carrier wave signal. And I don't know what they abbreviated it on this standard
Can
here.
you explain the difference between luminance and chrominance real quick?
Yeah, it's color. And luminance is just the black and just the summation, black and white. That's all it is. So because you're separating the signal, right? Like more pins, more separation, better signal, right? Even this is actually a compression. RGB I don't even need to explain because it's just, you just send the red, green, and blue frames down three wires. But component video was selected instead of RGB because that's how they got encoded on discs to save space. Remember I was telling you about saving space? RGB doesn't save any space at all. That's why all these retro gamers are like, oh, I need RGB, because RGB basically gives you full, whatever you call it, you know, full bandwidth. There's no compression, there's no lossiness to it. It's also, you know, driving your Escalade down the street. Also, there's another video standard here that we haven't talked about, or another standard here we haven't talked about. I'll have to move these a little bit to the side so we can kind of see. And this last one here is Suntory whiskey. So a couple positive things about this. Number one, hold on, I gotta consult. I gotta consult my guide here.
Oh my god.
Let's see. It's 86 proof. It's good. It's good. It's yummy in my tummy. And there's no dedicated Wikipedia for this, so you won't be able to research this.
Really?
All right. I'm going to pour myself some whiskey because that's enough class tonight. So here's what I want to do for the second half here. What I want to do is I want to be not Sambucus.
It's not Sambuca, no.
No, it's not Sambuca. So what I want to do here is pull out some analog equipment. We have some gigantic electromagnets and plug up some old consoles and just fuck with it, man. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
I'm actually going to jump in free-for-all here. Right. Sophie, if you are just joining us, we are Human Interact.
Welcome to Human Interact.
Analog. Whoa, kaboom. Okay, so if you're just joining us, we have a Discord. You should go down in the link down below. I'm going to jump in free-for-all. Please be nice. If you have questions, I'll answer them while I plug up some equipment here. That was cool. You knew a lot about it. There's a lot of rattling around your brain. You wanted to play an FMV game of tapes? Don't worry. We'll play some games. But anyway, I just hope that everybody had something. I just kind of want to talk about all this stuff because it's like, dude, we have all this analog equipment. It's fucking complicated. Actually, the digital stuff is pretty simple. Explain the digital stuff is easy to me because it's just like, here's a frame, you just play it. There's no weird like encoding or anything to get around like driving a CRT and stuff. All right, you ready to jump in free for all, Sophie?
Yep, I am.
All right, see ya. Hey, Chris.
Oh. Hey.
What'd you think of all that?
I think my headache is back.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding.
Old School Jay, what's up?
What's up, guys?
Not much.
What's up? I'm gonna grab some more tomato juice.
I'm just gonna say, Jay, look at the picture I posted. Look at the pictures I posted in general. Just going back to that whole fake scanline on a CRT thing, real quick.
Yeah, fakes. So now you know why fake scanlines never look right.
It does. I think it looks great in like the images I posted where it's on an actual like VGA tube at 640 by 480.
On a
That looks
tube, yeah.
pretty
You're like,
nice.
oh, fake scanlines on a tube. Well, of course it looks
Yeah.
good. All right, so look at this bad boy here. I got this Samsung VHS combo DVD player.
Oh, that big sticker, my man.
I know, like they left the sticker. I left the stickers on here too. This thing has component and S video out, but it only works on the DVD player. Only the
makes
RF
sense.
and the composite work on the VHS here. So I'm gonna plug this guy up.
I thought there were VCRs that had S video though.
There are some VCRs that have S video, but it doesn't get encoded that way, so it's kind of pointless. The only reason why you'd have S video is so that the pass-through looks better.
SVHS was a standard for a while, but not very much stuff was produced on it. Like as far as I know, commercial movies never were.
And then there was.
So you actually had S video on a videotape, but you needed like an SVHS camera to record it.
There was also D Theater, which was component out 1080i on VHS in the.
Yeah, no, but that was storing digital data on the tape, right?
That was digital, yeah, but it was still technically VHS, and it was the VCR players could play old VHS anyway.
All right, hold on a second here. We're not quite ready. So, yeah, you're like, oh, look at this big fucking sticker. All right, so for people to see this, I'm gonna actually like pop this bad boy open. So I'm gonna just say this right now with a lot of big red letters. Don't do this at home because mains power coming into this thing will fuck you up if you touch the wrong spot.
It is dangerous. Like opening a CRT. Don't do it unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, if you know what all the components are on the board, which I did not explain, which we're not going to explain tonight. We're gonna have some fun now. Yeah, don't do this.
And yeah, and heed my advice on the CRT because those things are deadly if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, CRT's super deadly.
Yeah.
All right.
CRTs aren't even mains power. CRTs will kill you after you unplug them because the capacitor stores up tens of thousands of volts.
You have to like manually discharge them, don't you?
Yes.
Like you have to take the acoustic. No, not the acoustic coupler. I'm thinking about. I think the suction cup at the top. You have to take that off and jam a screwdriver in it.
Well, see, here's the thing. You're like far enough into the CRT realm to be like, yeah, don't touch the inside of one unless you know what you're doing. Because that's what happens. A lot of people see this stuff like, oh, I can do this. Like, nah, man. Like,
no.
So I'm gonna keep my hands away from this side of the board because this is where like the 120 volts comes in. Mostly covered by the DVD player, so that's why I'm comfortable doing this tonight. Otherwise, I'd be like, yeah, no.
The VGA CRT.
Give me that system shock.
The VGA CRT I have, I would happily fix if I knew what I was doing. I mean, from what people told me, it might just need a capacitor replacement because it just keeps flickering. But it's like I'd rather give it to an expert, and I don't know anyone in my area who can, and I just don't have the space for it anyway. It's in the basement, sitting there.
Wow.
I have a local friend who has a massive beard with like big streaks of gray in it who fixes up CRTs, so I'm lucky that way.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the line in on this is on the front, unfortunately, because I don't have the remote for it, and it auto switches when you plug it up.
I'm sure Bob probably knows some people that I could talk to if I just ask him.
All right, so let's talk about the VHS tape here. The good old VHS tape, because
You rip off the thing so that people can't overwrite the tape.
Well, yeah, but this is all mechanical stuff. So you gotta think like the 70s because that's when this stuff was created. So let's see if I can
yes,
turn
the
on
thing.
the camera here.
Yes, the thing that beat Beta. and video and 8mm as well. Because fun fact about 8mm tape, Sony wanted to put movies on it and have it be a home tape format.
All right, do you ever wonder what this thing looks like when you put a tape inside?
I always remember opening up the
I know.
when I was a kid and wondering why there's a crooked thing in there.
So
Can I tell a funny story that's going to make you slightly embarrassed?
Did you put a Pop-Tart in the VCR?
We'll get there, Sophie. I know what you're going to tell. So hold on. We'll tell it after this.
Okay.
Let me tee you up for the story. All right. So inside a tape, you'll notice that there's a little mechanism here that basically closes the door, and there's magnetic tape in here. What is it? It's a piece of plastic that's got metal ions basically on it, like ferrite, and then it runs around this big magnet here that spins around, and it rearranges the metal on it. And when you run the head through, that's how you essentially see video. It's encoded that way. I'm not gonna get into that tonight because you guys are like, can we play around? So, Sophie, tell us now. Sophie can tell the story.
It's a science.
All right.
No.
So when we were young, Alex had a favorite song, and it was the song "Footloose" from the album Footloose.
Footloose was badass, man.
And we had it on a very, very, very early CD. Well, of course, we had a VHS player. And whenever you put a VHS cassette into a VHS player, it would go in, it would load, it would pop the thing, it would sit down, it would do its job.
Yeah, like this. Watch, everybody. So the inside opens up the tape, and then it uses the M coils to push the thing around. And so, go ahead, Sophie.
So we had a VHS player at home, and one day we tried to put in a VHS tape, and it spat it right back out. And we tried it again, it spat it right back out. We could not figure out what was going on. So finally, Dad, took it upon himself, as dangerous as it was, we talked about the capacitors and everything. He took apart the VHS player, and lo and behold, what do we find inside that slot there? But the damn CD for Footloose.
And this is for combo players.
In his young age, thought that if he put the CD for Footloose in the VHS player, it would play goddamn Footloose.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
It wasn't an unreasonable assumption.
I mean, I would understand if he had if there was a Laserdisc player in the house. Because
we did not have Laserdisc
CDs. Yeah, those could play CDs. So yeah, what the heck?
You was a small child.
I must have been like 3.
Yeah, you were like 3 or 4.
It could have been a peanut butter sandwich.
Or even worse, it could have been a fucking cookie.
By the way,
whoa!
I got a feedback loop here because I'm running the input and the output into the PC. So right now you're on there and over there. You're seeing.
Oh,
You're seeing.
Love how the signal is getting progressively more degraded.
Yes, it is because
as
it's going
goes down the road
analog.
tube.
It goes to the analog and it comes back in and back out.
This is like the Bohemian Rhapsody music video, which
You
makes
should,
sense.
wave your arm and do the wave and stuff like that. Oh, okay, you missed an opportunity there.
That's where Alex in the foreground does something, and then 16 Alexes down the line, the one that's down there does something different.
So are you playing this off your PC?
Like some reverse telephone or something.
So
exactly.
So I'll explain what's happening here. And I should have the overhead cam up here, which is kind of silly. What is
this game called again?
Mock Breakers. So what I did is I took one of our old streams. This is last free for all stream, and I just rolled it to the tape. And so if you look at it really closely, you'll see the interlacing of stuff, right? Because again, this medium is interlaced, and I'm not de-interlacing it. I'm just playing it straight. So you're seeing the 30 frames per second coming straight off the tape, knowing that it would be done differently when it gets played back, even though this is progressive stuff.
I'm wondering, do you have a bob? You're de-interlacing this, right?
No, I'm not de-interlacing anything. Nothing.
Oh, you're not de-interlacing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just.
This looks like so many promo videos from the 90s now. Just instantly went to that look.
Well, so here's the thing.
This is me, I think.
Did you put "fuck you" cartridge
no, I didn't. I didn't run it through.
Filters, yeah.
Those are filters on the PC, not like actual tapes. I should run.
No, I meant, but if you put it with the filters already onto a tape,
it would look pretty crappy. You would want to run the straight video in and then let it come out for authentic look.
Anyway,
let me see if I can get that overhead cam up here.
I wonder, do you have this access to the sound? Like, could you play the video sound in the background?
I don't. Well, let me see if I've got any sound on this.
I'm just curious.
There's no. I rolled no sound on this, so I didn't roll.
You just put the video.
Yeah, I just plugged in the video. So yeah.
That would have been fun to hear.
So let me get the tape in the corner up here, because there's like actually a lot of really cool things that we can do. Because this tape right here, I just rolled over it like blank and everything, and I've got a bunch of. Hold on.
It actually reminds me of something. Are you familiar with the YouTube channel Scott the Waz?
Oh yeah, I actually asked him if he'd come on our stream, and he's like, "I'm not funny live," is what he told me.
He actually made a VHS release of his old video, "The Internet and You," that he sold.
I believe it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this guy over here. We're gonna put this on top, and then we're gonna scroll this and then scale it.
Actually, you want something interesting? Technology Connections has actually made a video on a time-lapse VCR, and you want to know all it did? It just advanced the tape.
Just roll the frame. Yeah, it's like
it just advanced the tape really slowly. So that was actually pretty cool. And I think it had a frame buffer in there as well. So
there we go. Now people can witness the goodness that is the tape.
Fiddle with the magnet. You know you want to.
Nice.
We're gonna hit it with the magnet. Don't worry. Hold on. I gotta just get my scaling right here. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. So that first part, I like thought about what I was gonna say for a few nights. This next part is kind of like, all right, I'll just gonna just do some shit.
Now we're actually gonna get into this.
Now this is where we go off the rails because I'm drinking.
this is where the alcohol comes out. This is where it starts getting Human Interact after dark. Right.
I'm sorry, you said you didn't hit it with a magnet?
Yes. So back in the day, I should probably show this off. So back in the day, they had these little tape eraser magnets.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, let's pull out the phone here so we can get a close look at it.
That looks pretty beefy.
Oh yeah, it is. It's beefy
and scary.
All right, so
is that an electromagnet?
Floppy disks.
So what this thing does is you hit the button and this little light lights up and it vibrates. And it says down here like, hey, don't run it for too long because it uses a lot of electricity, so we'll have to run it in bursts. But it erases tapes. Fucking magnets, how do they work? Well, watch this when I put it on the head.
It's basically
fun fact,
isn't it? It's basically a mini taser, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's not gonna hurt you. Here, let me
fun
see.
Fact. There is a remember the weather alert sounds, right?
Yeah.
There is a weather alert sound that is made by using one of those tape erasers and putting an ashtray on it, and the vibrations that result. They use that sound, that brrr sound, as their weather alert system. It was up in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I just magnetized the wires. They're sticking to the to the metal part of the table. So let's see what happens if I just put this on the tape drive here.
You're live.
I'm just doing it nearby.
Oh, it even dropped the audio, so it was saying hi-fi.
Yeah.
It's like it dropped that. It dropped her. It dropped her.
What if I just put this just right on the tape while it's reading it?
Isn't that going to destroy the tape?
It's not, apparently. Well, at some point it does, but
It'll erase the tape though.
yeah, it erases it. So I'm just degrading the tape now. It's just gonna get really. See how it's getting really noisy now?
Oh yeah. Oh. Now we got that old school tape look to it.
So here's a fun little thing that I found.
Oh, is it tracking to try to fix the signal?
Yeah. It's the signal's degraded now. It's like really weak on there, so it's like I can't see it, so it's tracking. So because there's like 4 magnets inside of the head here, I found that if you just put a screwdriver even anywhere near the head, it causes distortion.
I have an 8-track head demagnetizer, and it has a warning sticker on it not to use it with like a standard cassette tape head. Do some of them have like a permanent magnet built in that you can mess up?
What was that sound?
So this thing vibrates. It vibrates the magnet. So if I put it next to anything metal, it like goes fucking crazy. I'm dying! No, actually, no, I'm fine. So yeah, we can just do like all kinds of crazy stuff here. Let me see what happens if I run
That's
into
how
the wire.
Alex died live on stream.
I was gonna say, what if you zapped the magnet on the VCR?
What?
Itself?
I mean, I am zapping the magnet right there. It just goes fucking crazy every time I do it. At some point, I could demagnetize the heads on this, but it's okay. This is like a crappy VHS player. I bought 2 anyway.
You bought a spare just in case.
I bought a spare in case I'm like, yo, Dan Marino should definitely buy this VHS DVD combo. But not this one. I'm gonna fuck this one up. Whoop! Oh, I stopped it.
Did you kill the tape?
Hold on. Let me
Oh, yes.
Oh, wait. It's like telling me no. It was like, no, please
Do
no
the wave,
more.
do the wave.
All right, we're good.
Yay! Also, don't forget, be kind and rewind.
Yes.
So let's fast forward this. So that's the other thing too. Like when you talk about
Whoa!
when you're like, hey,
It's
look,
all funky looking.
that's why it's so funky looking, because it's scanning through and you're seeing one field of one frame, but you're seeing another field of another frame because it's running through the head so fast.
Wait, what happens if you start erasing the signal while it's fast forwarding?
Oh no. That.
Let me rewind it. Let's see if it if it's still good, or if that like section's gone. It's a little choppy right there. I mean, like I didn't erase it all the way. You're supposed to run it for like a few minutes to totally erase the tape, but you can see it like getting really bad right there. That's why I zapped it.
Holy shit. This really does now have that old, like, heavily used tape sort of look to it.
Well, now you know what a heavily used tape is.
Hell yes.
Do the wave. Now do the hula.
So anyway, yeah, that's what happens when you're like, hey, what happened to my tape there? Can you get a clone for free? I don't know. I mean, it's getting hot in here. Jeez, I need to crack a beer. All right, anyway.
It's getting hot.
Silver bullet.
Time to crack a beer. It's hot. Better get drunk. Basically what you're saying.
It's mostly hydrating anyway. Like, everybody's like...
Does it alcohol dehydrate?
Doesn't
Not
90%
Light.
water? This is what? 3.7 alcohol? Oh, sorry. Oh, 4.2. Okay. So it's 96%, 95.8%, something. There we go. You can see the sections where it's like kind of fucked up. All right, so we can plug in a game console here next and see what happens if we like do some analog shit, or we can dive through the VHS tapes that I got in the mail. I have no idea what's on some of them.
In the mail.
So I went to eBay and I was like, yo man, I need some VHS tapes, but I don't want any new ones because they're expensive. And then I found a guy who was like, random lot of 10 tapes. You do not get to choose. You get whatever's in there. Some of them may not work.
Nice.
So was it?
Have you tested
I want to see
them?
some old ass TV, and I really want to hope that you
there's
got
the
some movies
commercials?
that are like, yes.
Commercials.
Yeah, let's see if we can find some old commercials. All right.
Well,
so,
I know what's
We need-
real.
At least
really
you didn't
funny.
get those by filling out the mail order card from the back of a CD magazine.
Wanna know
You
what's
could get
really
VHS tapes that way for a while.
There's
Just didn't want to stream them.
There's something I love about old 90s commercials. They're just so cheesy and I love it.
Want to know a funny thing about tapes? For a while, the only version of Hook that we had, now we have an official VHS tape, but the only version we had was a taped from television version of Hook. And my sister and I were wondering why they were showing Christmas commercials when it was like frickin' July. And we had completely forgotten that we were watching a taped version of Hook.
But here's the thing, it was Christmas in
They
July.
had like
that's all.
90s Christmas commercials.
all right, so let's look through these tapes here. We've got Joseph Part 1, no commercials. No, that sucks. A&E biography,
those
David and Goliath.
No.
That's religious now.
All right, let's see what we got here next.
But it could be cheesy religious cartoon.
We got Roots 2, Part 2, then Part 6. Okay.
Where's parts 1 and 3 through 5?
All right, we've also got Casino, Sense and Sensibility. We've got...
It's Casino that I'm thinking of. That's like really violent.
All right, we got Au Pair 2 and Auntie's Point, No One Something on Another. I don't know. Then we've got This War, Betty Crocker, Something Fame, Contention. I can't read that.
Ooh, play Fox News.
We've got Fox News from 12, 14, 13. I'm gonna veto that. Right here, Dancing with the Stars from 2012.
There we go.
That's some wholesome family entertainment. And then we've also got this right here. We've got Niagara Falls, Our World, Smiley Face, Great Stones, Three Volcanoes, Gravel in Europe, and Travel in Europe. So I said Gravel in Europe. That sounds like some BBC show right there.
Gravel in Europe.
Gravel in Europe.
Welcome, Gravel in Europe.
Can we just all take a drink or take a shot for the person who owned these tapes who is still taping stuff off TV in 2013?
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna get a camera. Actually, I'm gonna get my camera on just to visibly take a drink.
I wonder what happens if I magnetize the iPhone if it messes up the Wi-Fi signal. Whoa! Oh, it messes with the optical stabilizer. Look.
Stop magnetizing your phone. That's bad.
That's probably your only phone you have. Who am I kidding? You make a lot of money. You probably got a ton of phones.
Alex comes in. It's like, my phone broke. I don't know what happened.
Here, I'm gonna take like a shot of Dr. Pepper. I'm just gonna put my camera on for that.
Take shots of soda.
All right, Dancing with the Stars.
I don't have any beer.
All right, Dancing with the Stars is coming here. All right, so we've got this little head here. If I took this apart, you'd see all these magnets in here, and as it rotates around, it writes multiple frames at a time, so this head doesn't have to spin super fast. Because otherwise, if it had to spin really fast, you'd be like, it'd be noisy.
I'm tempted to go get some popcorn right now, because I do have a box with like 3 bags in it.
All right, so we should actually get some real sound off of this. I swear that I did hear sound. It's noisy as fuck, though.
I think at home we still have a video camera my dad had used more when we were younger.
All right,
that requires you to carry around an actual like VHS player to basically tape.
You needed an actual VCR.
I'm gonna rewind the tape actually because this tape's not rewound.
Wow, somebody
wasn't kind.
So let me tell you about rewinding here. There's actually kind of interesting thing about rewinding tapes. You might be like, well, how do they know to stop the tape? There's no way to know. Please do not play that publicly before checking the video. Menomir, you only live once. I'm going to yellow this. So.
I mean, he is fair. You don't know what there could be on it.
So while this is rewinding here, you'll notice that we're filling up the left side of the tape, and the right side we're going to go through here. So this could actually take a little bit because this is close to the end.
That seems like a pretty long tape.
These tapes are like these are thick tapes.
Should have bought a VHS rewinder while you were on eBay.
No, they're useless. So come on, I got a deck here. All right, anyway.
Should have been rewinding while you were describing things.
So you'll notice that there's this little ribbon cable right here. And inside of it, there's a light that's shining through this. And it's checking to see the reflection, if there's light reflecting off of the back of this or off the inside of the tape. And as this tape gets really close to the end, it will detect the light going through there, and you'll notice the motors stop. And that's how it actually knows that the tape is at the end. Otherwise, it would just keep going at this super high speed, and it would just rip the tape out of the sprocket, and you'd be like, what the hell?
That's how some VHS rewinders would end up just ruining tapes. I think that's how we actually ended up ruining our original copy of Toy Story.
We're gonna get there here in about like 10 seconds here. So you're gonna see this run through. It'll cross past the sensor, and then you'll see the tape just like stop. So you can see tape moving in the upper left, upper right, We're getting really close to the end, and okay, well, it already knew that the tape was getting to the end, so now it's like kind of going kind of slow to not rip it off. So there it goes. It's going again.
I think I actually found a VCR in the garage of our house that I put back there, but I wouldn't mind taking it out because I actually found some VHS tapes of movies.
So do you see how it went past there? Now it's pulling the tape back in and be like, okay, now I'm rewinded.
Yeah. It's basically moving past the lead-in of the tape, I'm guessing.
Yep, that's it. All right, so I'm going to do a drink to the wave, and then I'm going to hit play. All right, here we go. Dancing with the Stars. Let's see what we got here.
Is this 2012? Because this doesn't look like it.
Well, Cheryl, who was your partner last time around, is now your.
It's on a VHS tape, and it's gonna look old.
True.
Dysfunctional family. So it's all good. I hope everybody here does great. I just hope I just do this much better.
All right. Let's see what the.
Still surprised people were taping in 2012.
Yeah, these people actually look like they might be driving around in the city here.
7.
I want to see some commercials, honestly.
All right, let's do some commercials while I erase the tape.
That's 20.
Oh, God.
Each and every one of our all-stars, they want you to call, text, and vote online tonight to help them make it through tomorrow.
Oh, wow, you can hear this thing actually go through the sound too. That's
that
great.
woman on the left just make the finger phone? She did too.
Yeah.
You can. Good luck. Thank you, Tom.
All right, Brooke, thanks.
All right, let's go ahead and fast forward this tape. Let's see what we got here. So commercials from the 2000s.
This looks like.
Go ahead.
This might just be 2012, so these might not be too interesting.
2012, geez, all right, Kit Mode, this is Dancing with the Stars in 2012, apparently.
I think that's what one of the tapes said, 2012, 2013.
Wait, were those commercials?
You passed the Lowe's ad.
Everybody's keeps doing finger piece, there was Lowe's right there. Let's see. Are we playing Quake? No, that's next week.
Oh, it's Christy Alley, aka.
These commercials are too funny, or too recent.
Put in that Niagara Falls tape.
All right, let's see what we got here.
That sounds
I
like
was
an
thinking
old
that
tape.
Roots tape, man.
The Roots tape, but I think when I looked in the movie, one, it was super it was super kind of destroyed, degraded, and I don't know if it had commercials.
Oh, okay.
But we could try. We could try. Roots 2 and Ronnie's Point. No one knew another guy. It says 2004 on it.
Oh,
that's great. And let's do it.
2004. I mean, that's pretty. Yeah.
That Half-Life 2 came out that year. There were some banger games that year.
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna
Prime 2. I was gonna say Prime 2, but Prime 2, no. Halo 2. That was the year of sequels.
Hey, don't diss the Metroid Prime games.
But no, Prime 2 is the one I don't like.
Oh, I feel so much better after drinking this beer. I feel like more sober now.
Prime 1 is great. Prime 3, from what I've played, is good. Prime 2, I do not care for.
Oh God!
The rule that's
oh shit!
To Top Gun status in Hollywood.
Hey, the new Top Gun movie's coming out.
Breakthrough performances by Val Kilmer.
There was a new Top Gun movie in the early 2000s.
No,
yeah,
there's a new Top Gun movie coming now.
That didn't really need to be made.
I think that the shot where they show him taking off in the plane, now that cameras are small enough, I think that it does need to be made because.
Did you hear?
Because they could put cameras in places where they couldn't before. Yeah. Now they're flying real planes. That's gonna be awesome.
Did you hear about the idea for the original Top Gun sequel?
No.
Where it'd be the original guy who made Top Gun, who's passed away since then. It was gonna be drones, about them trying to adapt to new modern military aircraft warfare, where they're using unmanned drones.
Warfare.
Yes. Okay. And the old crew being there's these kids that are just flying these unmanned drones.
And then he's gonna get in a real plane and kill the kids, and then he's gonna fly over their base in Arizona and bomb them too. What kind of fucking story is that?
It'd be kind of the telling of how modern warfare's changed and
It just sounds kind of boring though.
The article made it sound a lot cooler.
Okay.
Oh, MP Power, remember that?
Fuck it, we're going to 7 blades, or 5 blades, yeah.
I know this is just a shaver ad, but look at this 2004 3D rendering.
I know.
Is this just a shaver with a battery in it?
Yeah.
What?
The Jetsons. Remember when the Jetsons had a movie in the early 90s?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it? Made a movie?
Wait, was that the one that was basically Fern Gully?
That gel leaves more stuck on starchy foods than Electrosol.
Wow.
Or was that a different one?
I don't know.
Okay. Only Electrosol.
There was a Jetsons movie that was essentially like Pocahontas and Fern Gully.
Are you sure you're not talking about Avatar?
Oh, speaking of Avatar, Ubisoft just announced that they're making an Avatar game.
Well, those new Avatar movies are coming out soon.
Because nobody cares about it, really.
I wouldn't say nobody cares, dude. Avatar is like a big moneymaker. They're making sequels, dude.
Guys, what Avatar are we talking about? The Last Airbender or the James Cameron?
No, we're talking about the bad blue aliens.
Okay.
Hold on. The Tooth Fairy just fell down the stairs, all these coins.
What is this even?
What was this?
We got the right commercials.
I don't remember this.
Because this is the early 2000s. You were too busy playing
an ad for Coinstar.
Yeah,
I guess.
Coinstar was a 2000 AF thing, man.
We have one of those machines at our grocery store that we work at.
Are you carbophobic?
Isn't that the thing where you just put money in and it takes a cut?
Yes, and then
Wait, is this some early gluten-free BS?
And then you go. They give you a receipt. You go to the register and they give you the cash. They give you your money in cash.
This looks like those IBM commercials, but they're shot on film.
There's something missing.
Wait,
which IBM
Back in the days of
commercials?
flip phones, man.
The Charlie Chaplin looking ones?
No, the ones from the late 90s where they were like IBM Smart Solutions. They're like, yeah, Smart Solution. It's gonna fix your fucking.
I don't think
My sister had one of those.
There you go. Yeah, that's 2000
Whoa! My sister had one of those. Holy shit! I remember that. Holy fuck! Like she had a Kodak camera that she could slot into the thing, and it would just have a printer that.
Oh no! They have the same exact suit as me. Wait, where'd the couch come from?
Is this her constipation, or is she McDonald's? Are she hungry for?
Oh, McDonald's used to have taco salads. I remember this.
I thought she was like having like a problem with like her cramps or something. No, she's going to fucking McDonald's. Jesus Christ.
Well, she's definitely going to have a problem with cramps after that.
Oh, no more commercials. Yeah.
All right, what is this show right here? Look at this.
Who cares? This is terrible.
Let's skip.
I could call my mother, sir. She does a little day trading on the web.
This is like some British like shit where they're like, oh, we all live in a castle. We're very posh and we're inbred.
Really?
What the fuck?
I'd rather.
Whoa!
Historical British shows, you know, where like, isn't that the whole thing? It's like the royal family is like only married in with each other, which is why they were a little loopy.
Wait, what was this tape?
No, the kid's got a stripe on his shirt. He's not British.
This is
Conglomerate.
How did people have money in the 2000s? Oh, .com boom.
Did you forget about that, Alex?
It has
I wasn't old enough to have
Gregory
money.
Harrison, Heidi Lenhart.
Alex, if you started Human Interact in the 2000s and made it something related to the internet, it could have been a big hit. You don't know.
I could have gotten that sweet money, man.
You don't know what could have the freaking 2000s with the internet was like.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't.
Yeah, everything internet related had like just a random chance of being the next big hit.
Yeah, well, like Meridian 59. Go look that up.
There was also Beans in the UK, I believe.
Oh,
or it might have been a worldwide thing.
I just emailed an ad for the first 6 seasons of Star Trek TNG on VHS, and I would just like to say that, Alex, this is your fault.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just put an explanation on the chat. I said, what does au pair mean? She says, fille au pair means when a French ghost taking care of a kid in another country.
Oh yeah, so young MBA mistakenly takes the job of looking after a rich executive's spoiled children.
We're skipping through and looking for commercials. Don't worry.
No, don't worry, Biotic. We're gonna find some ads. He's making the joke that the content is the ad because it's past year 2000.
That is the ad. That is the content.
Wait.
Oh, still the movie.
Hold on. Did they do like
It's
just
still
like
the
quick
movie.
ident in the middle, just like you're watching ABC? Yeah, they did like a 30-second break just to like.
They did a
Oh, shit.
bumper.
Yeah.
You're watching the Disney Channel.
Oh, cartridge tilting.
Even though they have the fucking
Here
channel.
we go. Hold on.
ABC family on the set. We're going behind the scenes
Why don't you come?
Oh.
with the ABC
Oh,
family
wow.
original movie Love Rules.
The story's about.
Oh.
ABC original movie. Like, they skipped the
like-
commercial.
Oh, no.
Somebody's watching this while they're going on. Dude, whoever owned this tape was like, fuck, I'm into all pair. I'm like fucking invested now. How are these kids going to get into their dad's investment company? It's, you know what? I bought this in California, so like these folks could have been like super
I
invested.
just remembered something. I wonder if we still have the tapes for it, but we used to we had because one time back in the day they had a marathon of all the Batman like 1960s shows.
Oh, the 60s show.
On television.
I like erasing the tape.
So my
as it's
brother
going
was
through.
like watching them as they were
Like, I
going
don't
on
even
because he was
care.
like home from school. And then eventually, like it actually has commercials.
I've actually been meaning to buy the Blu-ray
and
set.
stuff.
Oh, I've actually been meaning to buy the Blu-ray set.
Was it
of-
the same commercials about Top Gun? Yeah, they skipped them. We might have to go
I've
to
been
a
meaning-
show where they weren't like actually watching it.
I've actually been meaning to buying the Blu-ray set of the 60s Batman show because I like that show.
So I want to put this out here in chat. Did people actually like record TV at one point? Because I never felt like I needed to. I know that was the primary use case of these VCRs and then
You were
eventually
too
DVRs.
young, man.
I was too young for that shit.
Wait, what was the primary use case?
Like recording stuff off
recording
TV
TV.
to time shift.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the main purpose that VCRs were introduced for. Is that
I
it?
used to record stuff at my friend's house when he had cable and I didn't. Then I'd bring the tapes home and watch it.
Okay, so I mean, like, right, like that was the whole purpose, and that's why VHS supposedly won, because it's like, hey man, it can record like 4 fucking hours on a tape if you wanted.
Well, I
And
mean,
nobody
wait,
cared about
wait,
quality.
could
So I don't
Betamax
recall the
record?
case, but there was a landmark case that allowed people to record on VHS for their own private use.
Yeah, yeah, because the movie studios were like, yeah, you can't do this, and it's like,
Right,
actually
exactly.
you can, because
Yeah.
it's not a public showing. You paid for the content; it came through. You're just time shifting.
Yeah, if you showed it publicly, technically you were not allowed to do that. But if you just
So
had
what
it
I was doing actually was
yourself,
piracy.
you're fine. What?
I was gonna
This
say,
isn't
I
a
was
public
just-
showing. This is just for educational purposes. You have to delete this stream after 24 hours.
Right.
The only thing I did was
Except we're not going to actually delete the stream after 24 hours.
And we're also like totally not watching this movie.
I was gonna say I also had I think I had a Bob the Builder tape when I was a kid, and that's about all I remember. Most of the stuff I watched was DVDs.
Man, we're only like 25% of the way through this tape. This is insane how much you can record on one of these
That's right though. The HBO free preview weekends.
I don't remember those. Can you explain that to us?
Okay, so HBO, Cinemax, Showtime would do a free preview weekend, and they would show some of their best blockbuster hits, for one weekend only, and it would be free if you had cable.
I can explain how that worked.
Everyone would set up and record some of the best shows, best movies that had just come out, and then would not buy obviously buy the service.
That probably bit them in the ass.
No, I didn't bite him in the ass because the reason why they kept doing it is because people were like, well, fuck, I'm just going to get HBO.
They'd be like, well, I really want to see the new releases.
Look, if you just convert 5% of people, it's worth. All right, here we go. We got commercials. All right.
I guess some money's better than none.
So let me explain how that HBO thing worked, because a lot of you probably remember you would switch to HBO, but it would be all scrambled, right? And it wouldn't work on your TV. So the way that worked was, remember how I was telling you about that color burst with the frequency modulation?
Yeah.
There was a filter on your TV that would so the HBO signal was done in such a way that your TV couldn't lock onto it, And when they install
They
the
didn't have
filter
extra
through
frequency,
it,
actually.
yeah, when they installed the filter through your cable line and your TV could tune into it, basically what it was doing was taking the signal from HBO and demodulating it into something that your TV could support. And so that's how they were able to send it down the line in a way that I would say that's encrypted. And then on the other end, they were using a frequency demodulator or an FM modulator to essentially allow you to put it in a signal the way your TV could do it. All right.
Let me look. I think I can find a video on that.
So it was like one of those. So was it basically like one of those little Comcast digital converter boxes from like back when
not even
analog?
digital. No.
No. It was
just a signal.
No, I was gonna say it was like a thing that you just put in between your TV.
Yeah, it was about the
and
size of this
line.
handle right here of this screwdriver, and you plugged one end of the coax in, you on the other end of the coax went out to your house.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, my example was bad. I was gonna say I was saying it was just one of those things where it's like you just put one thing in between the two things, and then you're good to watch.
Where's the commercial?
Commercials? Yeah, did I miss them?
Did he skip him again?
Did we miss him?
I'm saying, or did you just fast rewind too far?
Or did you not?
I don't think I rewind that
Or did
far.
you?
So I'm going to link a video.
Or maybe you didn't fast forward enough.
My example was bad, and I should feel bad. Well, Dead God, I am rubber, you are glue.
Yeah, Dead God, get in here, man. Wait, was that the end right there? That felt like that was the end because there was the credits there.
This is a
commercial. Hold on, I want to see the fucking cheesy freeze frame right there. Yay! We made it! We're even more rich than before. Thanks, Cheryl Sabin.
Yay! I kicked my heel up.
Milk Farm. The fire from Yosemite.
Oh, this was the
deal of a canvas tent. Well,
what?
Put the Rambler in gear.
All right, so actually, do you see that right there up on top?
Are we?
See those white bars? Look at the very top of the signal. That's probably closed captioning specifically for this, and that signal I was talking about at the top. You can see a few lines of it coming through because it's not an analog television where like you don't see the corners. So go ahead, watch really quick at the top. You'll see these white lines just moving really quickly.
Can't you manually, yeah, I see. Can't you manually alter like tracking or something to reveal it more?
If I have an analog TV, you can see into it.
The Needle Automotive Company Cyber Mall.
Here we go.
Is proud of offering new pre-owned Acura.
Yeah, they still
Porsche and Volkswagen products.
I was gonna say, is this like just buying cars online?
In Sacramento, California, yeah.
Wait, they've had a cyber mall since 1921. Wow.
Is this PBS? No,
these are just commercials that like they forgot to turn off.
I was gonna say it's like viewers like you. That's a PBS thing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any PBS tapes in here because it's all Fox News.
I linked the video. News will have some commercials, won't it?
Whoa, that 3D model.
Whoa.
This is some old ass film stock here, just being pushed on tape.
Yeah. What even is this?
This is just some good, wholesome family entertainment.
American spirit is kind of this wanderlust.
Wait. This is.
It dates even back.
KVR. I don't know. I think this is the content. We thought this was a commercial, but.
Yeah.
I love the look of old film, and at some point I'll probably get a 16mm camera and like shoot some old film.
This idea of
that's video.
Really?
And exploration.
Yeah, old film is awesome because it's all analog and like you never know what you're gonna get.
16mm. How are you gonna go ahead and develop that?
They could get out.
You can develop 16mm. There's still places out there. Oh, my camera up there just died.
Without any hindrance.
There's still places that develop film. Yeah. Friggin' Techmoan, he wanted to do this video on
road trips.
this like film that you could just put in like a machine to play it back. It was like just a roll of film and like a cartridge. And he found a place that developed it, but they ripped the film out of the cartridge.
They had seen that.
Yeah.
So you guys was his pictures. I forgot what it was called.
Fast forward.
Fast forward. Okay, hold on. I'm replacing the battery in the camera, so you have to tell me to like, no, go back. So watch the tape.
This is kind of neat.
Why do you just get a dummy battery?
Fast forward.
I don't have a dummy battery for this camera because I'm going to upgrade it soon.
No way. Prepare to fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir.
Who you calling a dummy?
I was making a Spaceballs reference.
Why is the camera not turning back on? I just charged the battery.
The camera flipped on just for a quick second. What the heck?
I really want to see the commercials associated with this.
If there are any.
It's like This Old House, you know.
There might not be any commercials.
This Old Vacation.
We would have gotten commercials by now, wouldn't we?
You know what? Back in the day, there were not like 14 commercial breaks in the middle of a fucking show.
Okay, true. And shows weren't as long either.
So back in the day, I think the original runtime was like 27:38.
Here we go. Hey!
Back it up. Back it in. Let me begin.
All right, I got the camera back up working. We're good.
Backing up.
Holy shit.
Backing up.
Here we go.
Stop it.
I don't want. Actually, this seems like some wholesome entertainment. I don't want to like
Pulls
zap
out
the tape.
pulls a magnet. He's like, I'm ready to zap this shit.
I'm ready. I'm ready to like.
For more of
Don't be evil, man. This is wholesome. Don't zap the wholesome.
Wait. He's stay tuned for something. Hold on. You guys, I need you guys to be.
Oh, this is PBS shit.
This is a PBS show. Oh, I'm ready.
No,
I was right.
It's PBS KVIE.
30 years ago.
That's my mom.
Stay tuned for more of Are We There Yet? Road trips down memory lane. But first, take a moment to show your support for the high-quality programs you've come to expect on your public television station.
Fuck! It's Pledge Week again.
KVI Virtual Channel 6 is a public for members of Sacramento, California.
All right, so Emmy.
Oh my God! It's somebody local playing piano or playing guitar for this.
So in the Emmy's asking about PBS, so I have to give the American explanation.
Go ahead.
In America, we have something called Public Broadcasting System, abbreviated PBS. It is the only channel on television that is funded by the government, and they put out donations as well. They put out some of probably the most, I would say, like.
And viewers like you. Thank you.
They're mostly journalism focused, but they put out a lot of programs. They don't really run a lot of commercials either.
They also, and they also show a lot of British shows.
Yeah, like they bring a lot of British shows. The thing is, the people who watch PBS today in the United States are very affluent, very rich. They're the ones that are just like, I don't mind like giving like $4,000 to my PBS station. I don't watch TV. I watch PBS.
They're mainly left-leaning.
There's also
that's why you have to pay $125 to get a tote bag.
There's also like their like top.
Dude, I love going to their wine reviews though.
PBS Kids.
Yeah,
as well.
Like for example,
$120 VHS and book.
Yeah, for example, the PBS station back where I used to live in Champaign, they used to do like train rides, and it was like all over 60 crowd, and it was like a wine tasting. Like take a train ride to like a historical event and learn about something that was like 100 years old, which is really old for Americans. Like most Americans like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to learn about anything that's old. But like, I don't know, like the audience for PBS right now really focuses for 60 plus affluent and wine and wants to binge.
Oh, and also wine. Kids show.
Dude, they love
kids
wine.
Shows in the morning.
The PBS show where I'm at, they have a wine tasting thing, and they sell, I swear to God, like 500 tickets at minimum $25 a piece, up to $500 a piece. The $500 a piece gives you access to free tastings of bottles that are up to $200 a piece, you guys. You get a taste of a bottle of $200 wine, as many as you want.
You said some shit, and then you zapped it.
It's
ridiculous.
Listen, I'm gonna get fucking like zapped for this song.
It's nuts.
I was gonna.
And I'm ashamed to say, I've been there. I'm not old, but I've been there. And yeah,
don't be ashamed of experiencing something.
My mom. One show my mom used to like watching on our.
Softcover book it for $40. Ooh, DVD.
was a show called Antique Roadshow, which basically just
Yes, Antique Roadshows. I love that.
I love Antique Roadshow.
I fucking hate Antique Roadshow.
What do you mean you hate Antique
It's like I would hate this
Because it
tape
comes on after,
stopper.
all right, you have Pulitzer Prize winning PBS NewsHour, and you're just like, all right, how's the government spending my money? And then all of a sudden it's just like, now here's Antiques Roadshow, the softest fucking thing in news that you could possibly have on PBS. Table flip.
Yeah.
Oh no! This Fox News.
We have.
I mean, honestly, I think the best coverage of our election was the BBC's coverage.
Probably.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay,
It's sad when you consider the fact that a country that isn't the U.S. does better coverage of our
Oh my
own
god,
politics.
I'm magnetizing my sisters right now. Hold on.
What?
That's what I'm trying to say. I gotta find this weather alert thing for you because what they do is they take a metal ashtray and put it on one of those things.
Oh my god, it
and had
magnetized the sisters.
Alex-
Look, it picked up the screws.
Alex, what's
Yes.
after this show?
Hang on, I'll find it.
All right,
I'll
hold on,
find
that's
it.
after the show. All right, we're fast forwarding. All right, so we're gonna go. So this is some people be like, oh, I remember Disney. It was so good. It's like, okay, yeah, dude, it's cool.
I remember when Disney wasn't commercialist trash.
I remember the Disney. I remember. What do I remember? Home on
I
the
remember
Range?
when Disney didn't ruin Star Wars.
I remember.
So,
I remember Home on the Range.
So really quickly, if you guys want to still do VHS tapes, I'm fine with it. But I do want to say that if Joaquin is here, he wanted Dreamcast plugged into VHS.
Okay.
We did some stuff. But I also have a Sega Genesis here, which is probably more period appropriate.
See what?
That's why I
don't
wanted
think
to
I've
give you a
seen-
ROM. I had a Genesis ROM I wanted to give you, dude.
I have real cards here, dude.
I wanted to troll you with another Sonic hack.
No, you're not
damn
gonna
it.
troll me with a
Nope.
Sonic hack. Come on, Chris. Look,
Oh,
you
wow.
know to
Who's
set
lying?
me up. We can
Oh.
plug it up RF. We could plug it up RF, guys, and then run magnets over it.
I actually have the RF box for my Genesis too. That was the only cable I got for it back in too many
Fuck
games.
it. We're gonna plug up Sega Genesis to this bitch and RF.
Venomir, I don't know how to do my own shit. That's
Why
why
would
I
you tape
back
this?
off of other shows.
Why would you tape this? I don't know. Why would you breathe air? Okay, like, look, man, let people like
wait,
the thing they like to
commercials.
buy. Wait. Did
This isn't the commercial. This is
Oh
the
wait,
show.
no, this is
this
the
is a show? Yeah, like, dude, like, what's the
Are we in
commercial? It's a
Fargo
show.
now?
We don't know. So anyway, now whenever I do anything to do analog, I'll roll it to tape. I'll zap it with the magnet, and then I'll bring it in so it can be all fucked up and good because analog shit is pretty fun.
Analog shit is great because you can distort it and everything. It ain't perfect, and that's what makes it great.
Yeah,
Some
well, you get a
people love
different result
finding
every
that
time, right? Like digital is good because like it's like, okay, man, I just want this stuff. By the way, this
Digital's
screwdriver's magnetized, and when I put it next to the head, like it does this shit to like the signal. I'm not even touching anything.
Put the scissors next to it.
Oh, the scissors are probably magnetized now
I
too.
do.
Yeah.
The scissors.
Yeah, the scissors do it just as good now.
Oh, nice.
Now, what if you just open the scissors and cut the tape while it's running?
All right, yeah.
No.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That'll just ruin the tape.
Don't fucking do it, dude. No.
Why would you even say that?
Did you actually
Wait,
do that?
Yeah, there we
Did
go.
you just ruin?
You actually cut the tape. What the fuck? I was
Well, you asked me to
kidding.
do it. You said what would happen. It's like, dude, here you go.
I said I was kidding. I said later on I was kidding.
Are you gonna tape it together?
I hold you responsible, Chris.
All right, so
You're
you might have
responsible. It's all
experienced
your
this
fault.
where you had a tape, you pulled it up, and then it's just like, oh man, what happened?
You better fix the tape, Alex.
You better
You
fix
are
it.
responsible.
This is PBS.
No.
It's okay. I got 10 of these things. Anyway.
Why don't you
Send it
just
to
put a
Chris with
piece
the
of
splice kit,
tape
he'll do it.
together?
You can tape it
can
together.
you-
You can use a cellophane tape put over it, and you'll get a blip over it. And then use a vernis ong. Emmy, what is that?
Oh my.
The Metamir says,
I
"Get your
won't
own
use
show
my.
already."
If someone says, "Hey, Alex, Ron Burgundy scissors to your Sega Genesis," I won't do that. But it's a tape. It's a tape.
Alex, Ron Burgundy scissors to your Genesis.
Ron Burgundy, your Sega Genesis. Yeah. Not today, sir. All right. Anyway.
Stuck in a glass case of emotion.
All right. So here we go. She's searching for a translation. Is it tape?
Run scissors to the mains cable.
No, I'm not stupid enough to do that. All right. So anyway, we're gonna plug up the Sega Genesis here.
Will EEPROM survive magnets? EEPROM's just a programmable flash chip. The way you
magnets won't.
The way you delete that off an EEPROM is you remove the sticker
and hit it with UV
just
light.
shine UV light. Yeah, UV light. Yeah, that's why EEPROMs have a sticker on them usually.
All right, we got that. I was kind of curious just to see. Someone said like, "Hey, put scissors through." I was like, "Yeah, I kind of want to figure out what happens."
Floppy disks, though, if you don't put a magnet next to a floppy disk.
All right, so we've got a couple RF adapters for this Sega Genesis. I got to get the right one. Where is my thing here? Oh, I'll turn on some music here while we're waiting because I got.
Speaking of the Genesis, I recently got a Model 1 Genesis modded with YPBBPR output.
I love this song.
It was just luck.
You're not gonna get a ban on this song?
Nah, this thing gets like sampled all the time.
Yeah, freaking mean. It gets memed a lot.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, I want to be the memer station, you know?
No, if you want memer songs, you play See the Gunner.
All right, so radio
Which
frequency...
are completely legitimate rips of old school songs. They're completely the original rips. Totally the original rips.
It is Glue 70, yes.
So here's a good question. I'm playing this up RF. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to switch the channel on this. Oh, it's channel 3. Yeah, I should be able to hit it. No, this will work. Channel 4. All right, so
I actually haven't done the dishes. I need to do the dishes.
Go do your dishes.
Oh, we're from Jim. Groovy. I like how you still have the whiskey like text and you show while everything else is covered up. Leave it that way. Don't cover the whiskey text.
Well, what are we gonna write here? Sega Genesis? I could do that. What color is Sega? It's in red.
Blue.
Oh, you're right. It's blue. You're right. Yeah. Sega's blue.
Sega's blue. Nintendo's red.
What should we write here?
The crappy Model 1 Genesis. Model 2
This is a Model 2. No, dude, this
is
is better than my Model. My Model 1 sounds like shit. This sounds good.
Oh, my Model 2 is great. I love it. It's even modded for component output.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If I want good quality, I'll just play in an emulator. That's just me. The thing is, my computers are fast enough that the latency is like, I can get it down to like milliseconds. You can set the audio latency to like, if you have a good audio interface, you can set the audio interface to like 20 milliseconds. You don't really know.
Yeah, for me, I just want to have the real hardware because it's cool to play on that stuff.
All right, where's my tape here?
Plus, I don't use CRTs, so unless I were to get a minimum S video, then no. So,
I need to get a CRT. That was the last thing I was trying to get to see if I could get a CRT, but instead all I have is my little monitor over here, my monitor. So I'm not gonna cut this tape because this is like my nice blank tape. But here, let me show you what I use the monitor over here. So if you guys want to see how this took me like 5 hours to set up, which is like kind of crazy. So,
I wonder, are you going to record your Genesis as you play it?
Yeah, I'll record it. So here we go. I'm gonna hit F5.
I actually wonder what does
this scene right here. And so if you want to see the setup here, so first of all, super wide. So beers, everything table here, 2 lights to light the green screen, plus a light over there. Normally I sit down there, but these lights are green typically to make the green screen green, but I'm like so close to it. That's why I can be this close and like not cast a shadow. This is the monitor I've got right here that I watch, and it's on a goose arm over here for.
Oh, we have box lights like those at my job.
Yeah, these are really awesome, but like I need to get a bigger space, and I'm looking at getting more space. Emmy says it's a big room. No, it's a wide angle lens. Like, there we go. It's tiny.
I am genuinely annoyed right now because my phone has a wide angle lens, but when I use it to make my phone a webcam, it doesn't let me switch to it.
I have to actually install a Wi-Fi thing for this to work, but the latency is pretty low, which is great.
I use a Droid cam, but on my phone, but they don't give me the option to switch to different camera lenses. Like, I have wide angle on mine. I'd like to use that for webcam stuff, just so I have a bit more view. But
all right, let's see what happens when I get this bad boy in here. All right, let's go ahead and turn it on. Then I gotta change this. Oh, he's talking about changing your VCR channel. I'm doing it right now. Nice.
Oh, dude, that looks.
This actually looks really good, actually.
that looks pretty
for RF. This is pretty good for RF.
Well, I mean,
can't complain.
You're not. How much interference do you have?
Well, I mean, there's this cable over here, but all right. So let's see. I'm gonna hit record on the tape. So I'm recording this right now.
All right.
Have you seen like the YouTube shorts that Bob from Recharge be uploaded about RF in his like area in New York?
Oh yeah, I saw that. And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like how much interference? There's probably a ton of interference here. I mean, I'm in a pretty dense city.
Are you supposed to whip the fridge?
Yeah. It's just a little lag because I'm playing it through the OBS window. And it's going through a VHS deck, which I don't know what it's doing for.
I only ever played like a demo of the HD port. I thought it was good.
General Leo. Of course, we're still nerding it up.
Yeah, we're nerding it up right now. We're rolling this to VHS tape, and then we'll play it back as I do the wave. Actually, I switched the channel, so I won't be able to do the wave anymore because I unplugged the front. But as you can see, like, this is interlaced coming through. And the reason is that, again, it's this capture card is designed to show you the frame as is, not process it. Because, again, remember I showed you, like, all right, here's 240p, here's how it works. It's like, okay, cool. But the frame is like this. 240p requires processing to actually get progressive scan out of it. That's why so few devices actually, like, know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's like...
it's not a standard. It's like kind of a hack, honestly.
It's a hack. Yeah, that's why a lot of people, if you're saying going for retro game systems, they recommend you to, like Bob from Retro TV recommends avoiding those generic scalers, because like even right here, you could see like when Jim fires his gun, it doesn't flicker correctly. Yeah, that's usually an artifact of like the TV's trying to do deinterlacing on a 240p signal.
But what's happening is this thing is basically showing you the signal coming through the cable, right? This is what the signal looks like going through the cable. And what would end up happening is some sort of thing would process it to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's like that's why a lot of people say like on the low end, at least get a RetroTink 2X Mini.
I should turn up the audio for the game.
A little too loud now. Why don't you pause when you're messing with the controls?
That's a good question. Oh wow, it sounds kind of like tinny. Like this thing is filtering the. Well, I don't know. Maybe the audio coming through RF is not great. It's band limited.
It might be the RF jack.
You might want to change your Well, it's up to you. You might want to change it from Science Technology to retro.
Change what to retro?
The game. So, I mean, this is still Science and Technology. We're messing around with the VHS, with the VCR.
This is what the VCR outputs to here, and I'm not deinterlacing it. I'm just showing you the straight signal.
Okay.
Yeah, the VCR is still the main focus.
I can't remember that the audio says band limited. Like it sounds like a phone call.
I actually remember, what was it thinking? My Genesis 2, when I got it from Too Many Games 2014, it only had the RF cable. And so I actually plugged it into my modern flat panel that I had at the time. And yeah, it was pretty fuzzy and the audio sounded really fuzzy. Didn't sound like this though, honest, from what I remember.
It could be this VCR though.
Yeah.
I gotta like use my gun power.
No.
Not dead.
Why are you knowing?
Because the thing was getting me. Yeah. Come on, get up there. I want to get up there.
Maybe whip up there. Whip.
See, here's the thing about this game. Like, this game is awesome, but I have hardly played it enough to be like, yeah,
The only shiny game I've really played was MDK, and I still haven't beaten it.
MDK, I remember, like, playing it for a few minutes being like, this is not that great. But again, when I...
Maple is not as horrible a person.
I played MDK back in the day when I was like... Again, like, it was that late 90s where I was like, man, if it's not like Quake or like Unreal Tournament, I don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah, I'd say maybe.
Yeah, we were tired of Commander Keen.
I'd say give it a shot nowadays since your perspective is different.
I should because like I actually like go, okay, yeah, this is different.
It's actually a really fun game. My only problem with it is
it's MDK2 in a big box. I've been meaning to play that one for a while.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rewind this tape, and then we'll play it back.
One problem I have with MDK that's sort of cropped up over time is the MDK runs letterboxed in widescreen. However, because it's still locked to a 4:3 resolution, it's also pillar boxed on a modern widescreen monitor.
You know, you're right, though. By the time this came out, you know, we had Quake. We had Doom, Quake, and we were doing already.
Yeah, the game changed for PC players. Like, that's why PC players were so snobbish back in the day, because it was just like, dude, we were playing something that was like 10 years ahead of what consoles were doing.
And MDK was also actually programmed like as if it were a console game, but for PC. Their target was fairly low end when you look at the requirements.
Did I not hit record?
The game is designed for 30 frames per second.
What year was this?
What year
MDK?
was MDK was like 97, I want to say.
MDK.
And what year was Commander Keen?
Like 1991, maybe?
Yeah. MDK came out in 1997. I'm going to look for its system requirements.
Because honestly, it feels the same.
No, MDK is like...
By Shiny Entertainment.
It was a 3D game. Murder, Death, Kill. It's just called MDK. Yeah. I don't think I recorded that at all. Did it not record?
The system requirements were the minimum was a 60 megahertz Pentium, but the 90 hertz was 90 megahertz.
Speaking of recording, that's if you had like a VHS hookup thing or something, you could end up like making a video of your art on the original Paper Mario. Or not Paper Mario, Mario Paint for the SNES.
Yeah.
There we go.
You
now
could combine songs that you made in the game with art and make like your own like slideshow art thing.
Let me see. What am I thinking?
All right, I did not actually record this gameplay, so you're seeing the quality is coming through. This is surprisingly really good for the RF video that's coming in, which is even worse quality. Where it's like, remember how I was like saying you shove the video through one cable? All right, now shove the audio through one cable too.
Nice.
Okay. So for the original DOS version of MDK, they recommended 6.2, and the minimum requirements was a Pentium 60 megahertz with 16 megabytes of RAM.
In '97, that was not ridiculous. So.
And then they recommended was a 90 megahertz Pentium.
I mean, but just what I'm saying is like in the late '90s, like 200 megahertz machines existed.
Yeah, that's like I was saying, like their performance target was really low end, and the game was capped at 30 FPS. So it's like I remember John Linneman in his old DF Retro video saying like that was sort of like a console game made for PC essentially. Like that was the attitude they took when making it.
Dude, a lot of games back then were console games made for PCs because consoles were making tons of money back then. Like for example, even Volition, when they switched from being a PC game studio to a console studio, it was like, okay, yeah, like, oh wait, Old School J's got to head off. Fun of hell. Thanks for setting this up, dude. You're welcome.
It's like MGK also got a port to the PlayStation, and it was actually on.
All right, Dead God, see you.
See ya. But yeah, it's like it was like I forgot who the studio was, but they used their technology and their engine to recreate MDK for the PlayStation. And it's interesting to see how different it is.
Well, a lot of things. Oh, you're hitting up Historic Nerd. That's cool. I wanna do when travel hits back up, we're all gonna meet up. It's gonna be good.
Oh, friggin'! I am hyped for Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2022.
So I'm seriously considering the New York City one. Vintage Computer Festival East is apparently happening in person.
Yeah. And when is that happening?
Like August. That's happening August this year.
I don't think I'd be able to get anyone to take me to New York.
I need to see how cheap flights are right now.
I don't know if I'd be able to convince anybody to get me to New York, but that does sound cool.
You're East Coast though. How far is New York from you?
Oh, that's a good drive. That is a very good long drive.
Wait, what about New York?
Yeah,
I'm in Maryland.
VCF East is happening this August, so I was thinking about maybe going to that.
For real, it's happening?
When in August?
Maryland.
You have to look at it. VCF East is what it is. You can look it up.
By car, it's a 3-hour, 13-minute drive. It's like almost 3 hours, over 3 hours.
It's not bad.
I was thinking about hanging out with Amiga Bill and all of his buddies. So
my problem though is that I don't have a car. Unless I can coordinate a trip with my mom to go to New York, then yeah, I don't know.
All right,
that
so
does sound cool.
You saw the quality coming through RF. Now you get to see it going through VHS. So you'll notice that like there's all this weird like noise on it. One of the things that I didn't talk about is all right, you have a composite signal. Now you got to roll it to tape. And it's not necessarily that color gets lost, Emmy. It's just that the color is even lower resolution than what I talked about. So you remember when we talked about that 422 where you're squeezing it in half? If the signal is 720 by 480, then do 720 in half. So like 310 by 480 is what the color signal would be in a 422 signal. 310 by.
My recollection is this is what all BBC looks like.
So VHS would be like 33 pixels by like 380, apparently, I guess. That's at least what somebody on a Wikipedia article said. I don't know exactly what the resolution is because it's all analog, so it's like you get a lot more out of a lot less. But also the color signals. Remember I was talking about the CB and the CR? It gets encoded on the tape the same way. But those CB and CR signals have a ton of noise because they're rolled to the tape at a way less rate than the picture itself, than the Y signal.
Isn't CBCR the digital version of PBPR?
Basically. I mean, they're interchangeable at this point.
Okay, just off here.
For what I'm talking about, they're interchangeable.
I only knew that because My Life in Gaming talked about it in their GameCube video that they did on the GameCube video quality. Where I'm gonna spoil this for you, ruin this for some people, but the GameCube renders in 420.
No, why?
Yes. They do that.
Why would they do that?
The GameCube's like video is like there's a ceiling on the quality. I don't know. But it's YCBCR, I don't know. 420 at the digital port.
Oh, there we go. There's my Genesis right there. Just rolling right over the tape. So yeah, when you see all that noise coming through, this is what's called an SLP recording. So if you look at the tape, it's rolling really slow, which means that oh wow, when I touched this, it's like, it was freaking out. The slower you roll the tape, the less information you get. If you roll the tape really fast, you actually get more information. So like there's less noise on it. So I'm actually surprised that this thing is like not affecting the signal at all. But
I mean, it's plastic mostly.
Yeah, but it still generates some radio frequency.
Also, I'm just gonna quickly go on a tangent. I found this awesome thing from on Twitter on my timeline that I posted in general, and it is amazing. 4-player split-screen Mario Kart 64 on 4 CRTs.
So the 2-player versus mode in this game is actually interlaced.
Yeah.
So we can actually see this running through like real hardware and seeing it like see the real interlaced signal. But it was like way jittery when you played it, you know. I remember playing this on like TVs back in the day and being like, "What the hell?"
Why is the 2-player?
You want to know something interesting about
interlaced
the
mode, Sophie.
You want to know something interesting about the Blastem emulator? Apparently, like the way it does its interlaced is like 2 fields are stored as like separate textures that they're rendered to. So whenever something interlaced pops up, you'll get combing artifacts in Blastem because of how it does that.
Well, that's basically like how a TV would have done it. So, I mean, based off what we just talked about.
It's kind of interesting to hear just how stuff like that is made. Well, like, just even on the software side, it's interesting.
Well, I hope that everybody kind of understands a little bit better now how this works, because, like, now you're like, oh, that's why the image is interlaced, or that's why it's not interlaced, right? So, this is, like, one of the few interlaced mode games on the Sega Genesis where... and they did it to maintain the resolution of essentially squeezing the graphics down in half, right?
I actually remember there was one, I don't remember what game it was, but there is a Genesis game that in the pause menu allows you to turn on interlaced mode. I forgot what it was called though.
I can always load it up on the flash cart and do it for real, you know?
That's the problem. I still don't know what it's called.
If you find out that game, we can do some experiments, man.
Let me see.
Let me see if I can magnet the Sega Genesis if anything bad happens. There's no moving parts, so it should be okay.
Magnet the RF box. Magnet the RF box.
Of course.
All right, here we go. Here's the RF box. Oh, I just tilted the cartridge. That's it. No, I tilted the cartridge. That's it.
Fuck you, cartridge port.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's not that kind of.
We should do cartridge tilt.
I'm not that kind of a stream.
We should do cartridge tilting with the VCR.
All right, so watch this. If I just put this on the box, a bunch of noise appears on the screen.
You just killed the signal.
I just killed it. Yeah, look.
Oh. You magnetized the.
No, I didn't. Maybe. Did I just break this?
Oh my god, did you break your port?
I'm not even touching it with the magnet. I'm touching it. I'm not even hitting the magnet. I'm not even turning it on.
I'm scared now that you're breaking your Genesis by doing this.
No, I'm just breaking the RF thing. Did I just break the RF thing?
Did you just break your Sega Genesis?
No, I broke the RF adapter, okay? I just tapped the RF adapter with this. That's all I did.
Everyone type F in chat.
Yeah, F in chat. I think I just broke. All right, yeah, don't magnetize your RF adapter because that's really bad.
Oh my god.
That was
don't
quick.
Don't do that. F in chat.
You killed it. Why?
Maybe it's on a different channel now. That actually...
You broke it. Oh my god.
Wait.
Hold on, it's back. It's demagnetizing.
What'd you do?
Sure?
Yeah, it's working.
All I did was wait. All right, here, I'm gonna blast it now.
Oh my god.
It's fine.
Just stop it, you're scaring me.
That noise though.
Well, it's vibrating really hard, that's why.
No, I know.
If any game deserves to be demagnetized, it's a Sonic game.
I mean, I'm magnetizing my Sega Genesis. I should probably not do this to my real Genesis. The one I use.
I want to...
I'll do it to the RF box, though. I mean, there's like a little bit of noise in there when I do it. I'm torturing my viewers. I could do it to the cable. Let's see what if I do it to the cable. Let's roll it rolled up. Alright, it doesn't do anything there. I'm doing it there. Am I rolling the tape? I mean, I can hit it to tape head while I'm doing this, so you'll see some bad stuff happen when I do this. So let's go ahead and hit stop. Let's hit play. And let's roll this back just a little bit.
Let me see. I'm just going to search Genesis games.
So like right there, it should be like all fucked up while I was hitting it.
Because there's...
Oh my god, listen to that audio.
The audio.
Oh, well, that's me magnetizing the box right there.
I think in the HD Retro version, what do we have? Is there a list of games? There's not a list. with how documented.
Oh wait, that was the
Genesis
end of that.
is,
That was the end of what I was rolling on. Okay.
With how many people document the Genesis, I'm surprised there aren't any like video resolution. Let's see what we have here. I'm actually looking for this too.
I got a little scared there because I actually like waxed the box for a little bit there. Oh wow, you can hear me hitting it.
Yeah.
Wow. I found a Sega 16 post and it's got a name. There's a name in these like comments I recognize. Joe Redifer.
I should capture some of this. This looks good.
I actually found a name in this Sega 16 thread I recognize, which is Joe Redifer, who, if you don't know, is GameSack.
Dude, GameSack is awesome.
His skits are great.
Dude, I love
GameSack. GameSack. You mean teabagging?
No, it's GameSack,
No.
dude.
No GameSack. Are you not familiar with GameSack?
No.
All right, we're gonna roll some music here, and we're gonna play the music through, and we're gonna zap it with the tape.
I need to show you what I think is the highlights of his videos, dude. His skits are the best, and he even has a channel where he uploads those separately.
Metamir says, "Who doesn't know GameSack? Someone who doesn't watch mainstream YouTube." Oh.
Nevik, check a free for all. Just watch this skit.
Which one is the music?
Are you doing the sound test?
Yeah, I'm just trying to play some music while I zap it with a magnet.
Which track do you want?
The one I like. I'm just kind of listening. Okay.
Don't forget the sound test also has sound effects in there, so...
I know, I'm like, what happened to my music?
I think you ran through all... you hit 0, which I think is no music.
No, Amy, you got it wrong. It's not 5-year-old Alex playing from the NASA... What? This Christmas toy? No.
Did I break this?
Did you? There's no way. Just play a track.
It won't play. Hold on. When I hit 0, like it killed all the music.
Hang on.
Did you break the driver? You broke the audio driver for Sonic 2. How did the hell?
It's fine.
I want to ask now. Is that a bug where you can break the audio driver?
But look, if I played 0, it stopped the music.
That broke the audio. I'm sorry, my mind's getting blown by that bag.
Is that an unused track?
10. Yes, that is a Hidden Palace Zone, unused in Sonic 2.
For your Alex of the Footloose soundtrack, nice.
Yes, that was unused track. Hidden Palace Zone was originally going to be a level in Sonic 2 that was theorized to be a level that you would be sent to after you got all the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, I remember
that. You make the cut in Sonic 2, but it's still...
Man, Sonic 2 doesn't have a fun music.
Hidden Palace is still technically in the game's code. You can get to it with like an action replay.
Right, we'll play this one.
A Game Genie code.
Alright, I'm gonna see.
But I was nice about it.
Mystic Cave Zone. Interesting choice.
I'm gonna zap this while I'm hitting the magnet over it.
It's not doing anything.
You gotta be admitting it, Alex. I was nice about it.
Alex,
I did not confess your nickname for the soundtrack.
What?
What?
I heard something about a nickname for the soundtrack. I want to hear this.
You didn't call it Footloose.
Oh yeah! Go for it, Sophie.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
He says yes.
I was like 3 or 4. Come on, it's fine.
He was like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
kid shit.
We were all idiots as a kid.
All right. Are you ready, Emmy?
What did he call it? I want to hear this too.
He called it Lulu. Lulu.
Lulu. Yeah,
Lulu.
yeah. When you're like 3, you can't make syllables and shit. You're just like making it up as you go along.
That's adorable.
Lulu.
Yeah, Footloose. It was Footloose. It was Lulu.
Sundance shoes. Lulu.
Lulu.
Jeez. Lulu.
Footloose.
Wait. The magnet cut off for me.
You want to know
It's too
something?
hot.
The first time I heard that song was actually in regular show.
All right, the magnet's too hot on here, so let's go ahead. Let's turn this off.
Because
stop.
I think some episodes they would have musical sequences, and one of the episodes there was I forgot the guy's name, but it was like the father character who like owned the park was singing it at like karaoke. I like how the green. This is. I'm expecting to see like Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
I know. It's like,
this.
but the thing is, like, people like ripped VHSs like this. Yeah, she's trying to explain to Emmy what Lulu is. It's fine. But yeah,
you could literally make your own Genesis does what Nintendo commercial. Just get some footage of like various Genesis games that look like graphically intensive and such, and just putting that up next to the Super Nintendo game and the NES games.
Well, think of this, like, you know, people are like, oh, the old effect. It really comes from just like crappy tapes. Yeah, it's just like, it really comes from crappy tapes because, like, you know what this looks like when I plug it up to, you know, the scaler. It's RF video running through VHS. It's just noise at noise. You know, noise on top of noise. It's random. Oh, God.
That's when you broke the RF box. yeah, that was when you broke the RF box and we were flipping our kid.
Yeah, that color is like really off.
Very.
Oh, God. Sorry,
yes,
folks.
This is that dubstep people are talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, but here's the thing: you get like a bunch of random, like, you know, that's kind of the fun part of analog. Is like with digital, everything is deliberate. You have to do everything. With analog, it's like a bunch of happy accidents happen, and then you bring it in, and then you cut it together, and you do stuff with it. You know.
And then we. I'm not just picture you like Bob Ross going like, and then we just apply the magnet here. Oh, you see, this is a happy little accident.
Yeah, happy little accidents. Exactly. They're like happy little trees, but happy little accidents.
the joys of magnification with Alexander Mejia.
Well, the magnet does feel kind of warm right now. So on here, it does say, you can hear me magneting the thing through there, but it says that 1 minute on, 30 minutes off. The magnet is physically hot. Like, it's got a temperature sensor in there. It won't turn on now.
So basically, yeah, it's had its fill. You can't use it anymore. You have to wait for it to cool down.
It's because the thing is that this thing would overheat and melt the plastic casing.
Yeah. How old is that? Did you just buy that?
Let's take a look because it came in the original box actually.
Ooh, because it does look like something you'd see in the 90s. Like, that looks like a nice piece of equipment.
I think it's even older than that, dude.
I also like how it's just losing sync so bad it pops up the hi-fi sound again.
So hi-fi audio on a VHS tape is a secondary track.
Yeah.
On top of it. So there's an original track that gets recorded and then there's a secondary track that gets done. And the hi-fi is the extra frequencies that fills in essentially like the missing frequencies from VHS.
And then I'm guessing once the hi-fi track dies, that it just falls back to the old track.
The hi-fi track
audio
is hard to sync, which is why you see that tracking. So yeah, it's much smaller on there, but it's just recorded. Yeah, and then it shows you hi-fi. Okay, so here it says realistic high-powered video audio tape eraser. Does it say year? Intermittent duty, 1 minute on, 30 minutes off. Do not violate the procedure. All right, sorry, dude. Sign everywhere, sign. Okay, Radio Shack limited warranty. This is Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, what's that?
What's a Radio Shack?
Does Radio Shack still even exist anymore?
No, they're gone.
Yeah, Radio Shack's been gone for a while now.
Yeah.
So this says high-powered audio video tape eraser. It was $31.99 from Radio Shack.
What's that number at the top right there?
Cat number 44-233A. You could probably look it up on the catalog.
44 dash, what was it?
233A.
233. Yeah, I'm gonna Google that and see what it is.
Custom manufactured in U.S. for Radio Shack of Tandy Corporation.
Oh, found it.
Oh, Tandy.
I found something like it. I want to see if I can find like a listing for it somewhere.
Remember when Radio Shack had their own computers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was under their Realistic brand, I see.
It's a Realistic brand. It said it was $31.99 on the Radio Shack sticker, but I got it for less money than that. I think I got it for like, I want to say like US, like 24. And it came with the original box. I'm surprised.
I'm trying to find the year or something. Last scanned 2021-01-25. I wonder who that could have been.
I bought it off eBay.
eBay US used. Price 25. Last updated now.
Yeah, it was like $25, and then it was like $3 or $4 shipping. That was me. That's me buying it. Yeah.
All right. There's no date on when it first came out or when it like the first scan. I mean, I guess they can't go back that far, but
printed in the USA. All this stuff says like USA and stuff on it. I'm gonna do this song here. It's gonna be fucked up. So let's listen.
EPC. There's Google.
Yeah, you can hear that magnet going through it, man.
I'm genuinely just trying to find, like, if there's any listing or any information on it from when it came out, because now I'm interested.
These things existed in, like, the 60s when I was looking at buying some of them. I mean, erasing tapes was like, you know, people had audio tapes, had videotapes. It's just a magnet, you know?
Yeah, I'm still just curious on the date, on any date or anything.
So as you can see how like the color is like really nasty on this. Again, remember I said the color resolution is like always less. On VHS, they did like some really crazy shit, like putting it down to like, maybe not necessarily like getting it on every line or whatever, and then interpreting it. And then that's what gives VHS its look though. And that's why a lot of graphics back in the day would be like yellow on blue or whatever, because it was just like, it was the one thing that would come across. Like, for example, even this is yellow on blue because it would come across on these RF connections. Because it was like, those were the colors that like looked the brightest and had the best contrast.
I give up. I can't find anything on it.
All right, folks. Is there anything you want me to do before I call it a night? Because I'm hungry.
Hey, babe.
Oh God.
What
you said you had you said you had Dreamcast, right?
I do, but I'm gonna call it a night. I'm 7:30.
Oh, erase Fox News live in front of us.
We can't do that though because the magnet's dead.
Yeah, the magnet won't. The magnet's overheated. It says stay off for.
Oh well, then put something that's magnetized near it.
Thank you.
Your local 57.
Thank you.
All right, guys. This is gonna be it for Human Interact Analog. You know what? I'll.
This was fun.
Go ahead.
Okay. Why does this come
I was saying this was fun.
I had a lot of fun too. This is pretty. I'll leave this play. Whatever. Just
all
let it
I've
go.
got is you guys.
You heading out, Sophie? We're gonna call this a night. Anyway, so thanks everybody for joining us. We're Human Interact. We stream every Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Alexander Mejia. Crazy video engineer, scientist. Don't leave this shit open. This is a bad idea. Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Jinx.
Don't try this at home, unless you know what 120 volts mains power will do to your body.
And if you don't, it means die.
Yeah,
Simple.
it'll kill you. It'll kill you if you're not doing this right. So, thanks everybody for joining us. I'm your host, Alexander Mejia. This is our new segment, Human Interact Analog. Please tell us what you think in comments on Discord. Emmy says she's so lucky to be alive. Thank you. I had a lot of fun doing this. Though this was like a lot of fucking work to put together. So like, if y'all don't be like, yeah, this is cool, do it again. We'll just stick with the other streams. Next week we have a Friday and Saturday stream. They're open. Let me know what you want. And then the week after that is Quake Week. So after Saturday, we will turn on the servers. Well, the servers are always on, but we'll be like, it is official. Quake Week has started.
I need to see when I'm working because I've got at least 1 or 2 ideas I'd like to do for like at least a Friday.
Are we gonna get whatchamacallit to come on stream and be drunk and tell Chris to quit his
DOS Nostalgic?
DOS Nostalgic has already agreed to come on Saturday.
Oh,
will he be drinking?
I will.
He better be drinking so that he can yell at Chris to quit his supermarket job again.
I'm sorry, but do Russians like vodka?
I was gonna say it was fun to talk to him. Like just after the stream was done, we were just goofing off in the voice chat.
Oh,
it was fun to just.
He's a great guy.
Chill. Oh yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot of fun stuff happening here on Human Interact. So
I need to see my schedule.
Yeah, let us know how you like this. And before we leave, I know we had to raid somebody, but is there anything cool you guys are working on before we run out?
I'm a writer on RetroRGB.com. I write sometimes, but I've been sort of being lax on it. I there's stuff I do need to write about. I think it's like the Digital Foundry Retro video that recently came out on Quake, which is really good.
I watched that. I was like, holy shit, this is really good. So like,
this is like that's probably the best quality footage of V Quake we have.
Yeah.
I honestly wish John uploaded like a raw, unedited, like just all of his footage onto his like personal channel for that.
If you're a Patreon subscriber, I bet you can ask.
I mean, I'm on the Discord. I could probably ask, like, hey, why not do this?
Anybody else?
It's just...
no.
All right, no cool stuff. No cool stuff anybody's working on. All right, well, this is the cool stuff I've been working on. Thanks for joining us. So
I might see if we could do... I might think of something on Saturday, because I am free. Maybe we could do something.
Dude, let me know. I need ideas, right? Like I'm always trying to like keep it cool because that's the thing. Human Interact is about doing the weird, the unusual, like something interesting, right? Like it's just like, dude, you can go on Twitch and watch anybody play games. How many people can you go on Twitch and watch them roll their video games into VHS and then hit it with a magnet?
Well, you know what? One thing I wouldn't mind doing, a VR chat stream where we just explore worlds. Like 2 of us.
Ooh.
Let me know what you got, man. We'll do this.
I have no idea what we'll find, but hey, that's part of the journey.
Hey, look, we didn't find any porn on these VHS tapes. What could possibly go wrong? Bubsy defense.
That was good, though, by the
way. We only saw 1 set of commercials.
I'm honestly surprised.
It was all Fox News and Christian stuff, man. We were good.
And PBS.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, folks.
That's why you just need to go and record the Animal Planet channel when they're having the videos of animals mating.
Yeah,
could have been gorillas humping. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's cool, dude. I mean, whatever is cool for you, man.
Which is totally
What? No, I'm just saying that as a joke. I don't actually watch it.
I mean, no, that would have been totally natural.
We won't kink shame out loud.
Yeah, out natural, man. That's cool. All right. Anyway, all right. We got to roll this up. I'm hungry.
That was the stream where it's gone places at the very end. I know.
Like get equipped with Human Interact every week on Saturday. And this Coors Light. I already did the outro. Whatever.
Do you need a channel suggestion?
Yes, actually, that is the next thing I'm going to ask is who are we going to raid?
See.
I have a friend named Triumphant Bass, like bass guitar, and he's playing Rondo Blood, the PSP version.
I was gonna say I've got a 9 channel.
I can pop a link in the chat.
Link it.
I was gonna say I've got someone with like 13 people watching who's doing an Ocarina of Time.
Tom.
What do you got, Chris? What's the name?
Good King Linky. I can link that too.
You gotta link it.
It's in free for all, my dude.
All right, stand by.
And mine's in the Twitch.
All right, I'm gonna look at both of these folks here. I'm gonna see who the wholesome streamer is. Meaning which one's got the most gorillas humping.
What is happening on your stream,
What do you mean,
Alex?
I'm getting ready to raid somebody.
No, I'm just saying there's a head and some hands.
What do you mean?
Oh,
this
I
is the
see
table.
it.
This is the table. Yeah. If I touch the wrong thing, I die.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't. I'm not gonna do that. All right. So we had God King something, and then what was the other channel?
King.
Triumphant Base. I put it in the Twitch chat.
All right, I'm looking at both of these right here. I'm gonna decide who we're gonna raid. Hold on, come on, get the T in there. You got a T.
Whose game is cooler?
Ooh, Triumphant Base has only 3 people watching. Do we want to like just totally like flood a 3-person, or do we want to flood a 13-person? Like double a 13 or get a 3-person like off to go. 3-person is Rondo of Blood, and the 13 is Ocarina of Time.
Randomizer.
Here's the thing. Games Done Quick is coming up pretty soon.
I know, but Ocarina of Time.
I'm fine with Rondo of Blood.
Actually, I was gonna say I got someone with
Okay,
0
I'll do
people.
Rondo of Blood. Rondo of Blood. Let's do it.
Rondo of Blood it is, I guess.
All right, Triumphant Base. Here we go. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We're gonna get your chip ones out. We're gonna ramp Triumphant Base. Thanks for joining us. This has been Human Interact Analog, and we got to play our ident before we go. So that's it, guys. Cheers. Oh God, ident, come on, go. Whoops, I'm clicking the wrong button. It's so far away. It's so far away. Here we go.
We are having technical difficulties. Those responsible have been sacked.
All right, bye. I love that.